On day 1, I spawned in as a baby spider monkey.
Ooh, spider!
I may not have 8 legs, but I did have 8 hearts. I was looking at the beautiful glow shrooms around me when a crimson portal opened up and out stepped a powerful wizard.
I, the Supreme Court, do decree that you are in violation of the laws of this overworld. Your punishment will be sudden and merciless.
Wait, I just got here. There must be some sort of misunderstanding.
The Supreme Court makes no mistakes. Prepare for death by Snow Leopard.
The Supreme Court stepped back through his portal and vanished. Huh? What did he mean by... Whoa, is that a snow leopard? Before I even knew why, I was being chased across the Glowshroom Bayou by a ravenous snow leopard.
Get back here, you criminal scum! In the name of the Supreme Court, I shall punish you!
Oh yeah? What if I ran into this area of slightly more clustered trees?
Stop! Don't! I would never be able to find you in there!
But I didn't listen to the snow leopard that was trying to get me. I ran into the trees and hid myself away. The snow leopard searched for a little bit, but then gave up and ran away. I decided to spend my first night safe in one of the trees. I got lucky today, but as long as the Supreme Court thinks I've broken his rules, a deadly fate will await me. I need to find out what the laws are around here, and fast! On day 2, I said hello to a brand new biome known as the Forest Fault. There were plenty of trees to punch for wood, and when there's wood, there's everything I need to craft a wooden pickaxe, and where there's a wooden pickaxe, there's everything I need to mine some stone, and where there's well, you get it. I can make myself stone tools now. Those stone tools were a stone pickaxe and a stone sword. You just can't beat the classics. Aside from the wood and stone, the Forest Fault had plenty of bananas for me to eat. It's a banana bonanza! After getting a taste of those sweet bananas, I decided to build a super duper spider monkey base right here in the Forest Fault. I began with a strong wooden foundation and then built the walls up from there. Just as I started working on the inside, the same snow leopard from yesterday showed up right outside my base.
Hey you, spider monkey! It's punishment time, so says the Supreme Court.
Thinking quickly, I devised a genius misdirection. What? I'm not a spider monkey, I'm a scorpion monkey. I've never seen a spider.
My mistake. Please return to your building, Mr. Scorpion Monkey.
The snow leopard loped away, and for now, I was safe. But that definitely wouldn't work a second time, so I committed to furnishing a nice interior to at least feel cozier in case the snow leopard came back. On day 3, I went to the flowering ancient forest to gather all the coolest ancient materials for my spider monkey base. You know, there sure is a lot of trackless wilderness around for an overworld ruled by a Supreme Court. Whatever a gourd is, anyway. While I reflected on the absurdity of my life, I was attacked by a mummified mob with a nasty sword. He hit me once and took away 4 hearts. Ow! What was that for?
You, the spider monkey, this flowering ancient forest belongs to me, the Desert Lord.
Huh? That doesn't make any sense. Shouldn't you be in charge of a desert somewhere?
I am in charge of a desert, but it's more like a metaphorical desert. Desert of the real. Know what I mean?
I couldn't possibly hope to.
And for that, you must perish.
The Desert Lord came at me with his blade. I knew that one more attack would spell my doom, so I tried to run. Oh no, I'm not fast enough. He'll catch me. Just then, another figure stood in the way of the Desert Lord and blocked his attacks, taking no damage whatsoever.
Still picking on the weak, I see. You disgust me, Desert Lord.
Yeah, well, you're not the Lord of anything, Amadeus.
Wow, that was lame. Go home already.
The Desert Lord left, seemingly embarrassed by how lame his own comeback was. Once he was gone, the new guy turned to me and said,
I am Amadeus the Armorer. Allow me to travel with you, puny spider monkey. I will give you what you need to defend yourself.
Why does everyone keep calling me puny? But okay, sure. I left the flowering ancient forest and let Amadeus come with me. From day 4 to day 5, I returned to my base and built a specialized workshop for Amadeus the Armorer.
Rightio, little Zozo. Now, as for what I promised, it's going to take a little bit of time, but I've got all the materials right here.
It's Zozo, actually.
Well, I am an armorer, so take a wild guess.
What do you plan on crafting? Is it armor?
You'll see soon enough, but for now, you must be patient.
I waited it out as Amadeus crafted the mysterious item that would help me protect myself. While I was outside, the Supreme Gort Snow Leopard showed up again, and it seems like he meant business.
Freeze, criminal scum! I'm here to eat you up!
No, please! I still don't know what law I broke.
What? No, not you! I'm talking about the illegal armorer that is being harbored inside your base.
Do you mean Amadeus? But he's a good guy.
That armorer is a criminal, and criminals get fed to me.
I ran back inside the base to warn Amadeus, who had just finished up the specialty item.
Equip this, Zozo. It'll help you face the snow leopard.
I did as Amadeus said, and equipped the armor. It was a Titan's Shroud chestplate, no doubt one of the most illegal armors in existence. I went back outside and drew my stone sword to frighten off the snow leopard. Hey, get out of here. Go on, get out of here.
No can do, ruffian. I'll devour you, along with that contraband armor you're wearing.
The snow leopard charged at me, and I had no choice but to defend myself. I managed to scare off the leopard, living to fight another day. But what was I going to do now? I was officially a criminal, and my only friend Amadeus was also a lawbreaker. This is gonna be one tough adventure. From day 6 to day 8, I decided to begin indulging in my criminal lifestyle by rustling some sheep. I don't even know if this is a real crime, but in any case, I'm gonna do it anyway. Sometimes, when you're persecuted on trumped up charges, it just leaves you with nothing to lose. Just like the Supreme Gort was about to lose his sheep. Or at least I assume they're his. I lured the sheep back to my forest vault base. Here, I could shear them and use their wool to make t-shirts with subversive messages. Yeah, that'll show him.
You'll show me nothing, you worthless little rapscallion!
I turned and saw that the Supreme Gort had appeared behind me. He was carrying a terrifying new sword.
Do you like my new legally obtained weapon, Zozo? It's called the Gort Sword. I stole it from someone I had executed.
Wait, how can it be legally obtained and stolen?
Simple. When the Supreme Gort does it, it's not illegal.
That's not fair.
Correct, but it is legal. So say I, the Supreme Gort.
We started fighting after that, and with his crimson sword, he was truly formidable. I was fast and furious. I got a decisive hit on him, destroying the Supreme Gort. Oh my goodness, did I just defeat the big bad guy? This has got to be a personal best for me.
More like a personal worst, criminal.
I turned and saw that the Supreme Gort was standing right behind me. That's impossible. I just defeated you.
There's still so much that you don't know, Zozo.
Terrified that my greatest foe had come back from the dead, all I could do was turn and run. From day 9 to day 10, I laid low at my base with Amadeus the Armorer. I didn't tell him about the freakiness of the Gort's revival, but I was having second thoughts about the criminal life. Being hunted for a crime is bad enough, especially one I didn't do.
Think of it this way, Zozo. If the rules are so unfair that only one person benefits, breaking them by accident is a consequence of those same rules.
That's very reassuring, Amadeus.
I'm here to defend you when you can't defend yourself, little buddy. And also, to build things. Check it out.
Amadeus showed me pieces of the statue he was working on, and it made me feel a lot better about how things were going. Can you tell what the statue is going to be?
If you think that's impressive, wait until you see the rest of my handiwork.
Sure enough, the entire base had been upgraded thanks to Amadeus the Armorer's hard work and diligence. A training room for me to practice my self-defense moves. There was now a storage room for armor and other equipment, and a furnace room in case the life of a cold-hearted criminal ever becomes too chilly. Wow. For a career rule breaker, Amadeus sure is reliable. I think I trust him enough to tell him about the Supreme Gort being able to come back to life. From day 11 to day 12, I told Amadeus about the Supreme Gort coming back to life. He seemed overall really calm about it, as if he knew something I didn't. I, however, was still losing my marbles. How can a guy just respond like that? Isn't it cheating the very rules of the overworld?
The Supreme Gort has access to many abilities that we might find unnatural, and that includes the fact that he has 9 lives.
9 lives? What is he? A cat?
Actually, he was once 9 separate Gorts that combined to form a single Supreme Gort. You have to defeat him 9 times for it to stick.
That sounds like a whole lot of work.
Sure does, which is why most people never even try it. Most of us who have been sentenced to execution have decided to live our lives on the run. Or, you know, in stationary hideouts, but the principle stands.
How many times has the Gort been thwarted before?
That's the neat thing, little buddy. I have no idea. If somebody's keeping track of it, it's probably someone a lot closer to the Supreme Gort than we are.
Darn. You Gort to be kidding me. I guess I'll have to hold off on fighting the Supreme Gort until I know more about his 9 lives and how many he has left. From day 13 to day 15, I went back to the flowering ancient forest to see if I could get any information out of the Desert Lord. He's another strong guy with a noble title of ambiguous importance. Surely he must know something about the Supreme Gort. It didn't take long for the Desert Lord to discover me in his territory. He came up to me with that powerful blade, but this time I was wearing my Titan Shroud chestplate, so I was a little bit less worried about my heart.
You dare to return to my desert without permission? I will smite thee with my sand sword.
No smiting will be necessary. I'm only here to see if you know anything about the Supreme Gort. He sorta has it out for me, and I'm looking for a way to defeat him. A look of fear suddenly crossed the Desert Lord's face.
Not the Supreme Gort. He's the most powerful Gort in the entire overworld. And what he says goes no matter what. Even my desert isn't safe from his laws.
Okay, I take all that to mean that you don't have any idea on how to defeat him?
I do not. And the fact that you thought you could waltz into my desert and demand such a crazy request from me is enough to make me want to destroy you. In fact, I think I will.
If you insist, I won't run away this time. I can defend myself now. We fought, and I was really impressed by how well my armor managed to do against his attacks. With my own stone sword, I fought back as hard as I could, while my hearts were being chipped away slowly. My spider monkey reflexes made me way quicker, and soon enough, the Desert Lord was vanquished. Difficult battle brought on powerful change, and I grew into a regular spider monkey. I am a baby no more. I felt my total number of hearts increase to 20, and I gained the ability to shoot black energy blasts. The power of both spiders and monkeys flows within me. I don't know what that means, but it sure does sound cool. From day 16 to day 19, I went mining down in the caverns below my base. I heard that sometimes criminals have to go underground to avoid the law, and I guess I'm doing that now, just with more iron ore. My search for iron to craft new weapons took me deep beneath the surface, so deep that I even accidentally uncovered the tomb of an ancient pharaoh. He rose from his sarcophagus and came after me with all the fury of, well, a guy who was just trying to rest in peace.
How dare you disturb my millennia of tranquil slumber?
I'm so sorry, Lord Pharaoh, sir. I was just searching for iron ore, and I didn't even know you were here. I'll leave your tomb, and I'll even seal it back up.
You know what? You broke the rules, but did immediately say you were sorry and tried to fix things. That makes you A-okay in this Pharaoh's book. I'm going back to sleep instead of punishing you. Don't forget to seal the tomb on the way out.
Wow, you're surprisingly forgiving. I wish more of the authority figures up in the overworld were like you. After I had left and sealed the Pharaoh's tomb, I found an iron ore vein that provided me with enough material to upgrade both my sword and my pickaxe. From day 20 to day 22, I was returning home to my base after a long day of living on the lam. This life can be stressful, but nothing worth doing has ever been easy.
How very philosophical, Zozo. I'll carve it into your tombstone after your execution.
I turned and saw that it was him, the Supreme Gort.
It's come to my understanding that you know my secret now, Zozo. That's highly illegal, and you'll have to be punished to the fullest extent of the law.
You'll never get away with this, Supreme Gort. You can't make all these decisions without consulting anyone else. It has to end.
And? I'm sorry to tell you, Zozo, but the Supreme Gort is a lifetime appointment. Time to bring your lifetime to an end.
We engaged in another battle, but this time I was far stronger than before. With my enhanced weapon skills, as well as my energy beams, I was able to get him on the ropes. Supreme Gort, I contest your decisions. With another strike, he was destroyed. But Then I realized that was all just another part of his plan. He appeared behind me, respawning almost instantly, and badly injured me with a surprise attack. You can't have more than 7 lives left now, Supreme Gort. I already defeated you twice now.
Correct, but I only need to best you once, Zozo.
But before he could destroy me, Amadeus the Armorer ran out, ready to fight on my behalf.
If you're so tough, try taking on 2 of us, Gort.
So many lawbreakers. I'll let it slide for now, but soon enough, I'll return and bring the full fury of my power upon you law-breaking miscreants.
With that, he disappeared. It was the only time so far that I'd seen him truly afraid. From day 23 to day 26, I was hanging out in my storage room, seeing if I could craft something cool out of all the random pieces of junk that Amadeus had left around. Oh, these pieces look kind of weird, but I wonder what they'd do if I fused them together. My experiment was worthwhile because the pieces allowed me to create an awesome Tarantula Hocolytra, a special armor piece that gave me the ability to fly. This is gonna be so useful at escaping the Supreme Gort and his evil minions. And if you want to escape boredom, you've gotta search Zozo to find all my other awesome Minecraft adventures. From day 27 to day 31, I decided to fly over to Amadeus and show him the new gear I'd made.
A Tarantula Hocolytra. Genius! You're something of an armorer yourself, it seems, Zozo.
Thanks, Amadeus. I learned it all from you. And hey, having the right materials always helps too.
Right you are, Zozo. Speaking of which, I need some materials for the statue. Would you mind swinging by the Crimson Gardens and finding me some nether wart blocks? I'd go myself, but there are some people in that area who aren't big fans of mine.
Absolutely, Amadeus. I'll get right on it. Using my new gear, I flew to the nearest portal and made my way to the Crimson Forest, ready to collect exactly what Amadeus needed. Yikes, I don't want to spend too much time here. It's giving me an eerie vibe. And there was a good reason for this. A gang of snow leopards seemed to be waiting for me.
Oh, perfect! We were just getting hungry. Glad you're here, lawbreaker.
I'm not here to break the law. I'm here to collect some materials for my friend.
Collect, huh? You're probably gonna steal it. Let's eat this sucker, boys, for the glory of the Supreme Gort.
They attacked me, but this time I was able to dodge some of the hits and fire energy blasts down at them until they were all defeated. That's one gang of hungry mercenaries defeated, but I still don't have my material. I need to keep searching. From day 32 to day 35, I continued searching around the weird and freaky Crimson Gardens, keeping my eye out for any potential snow leopards. Instead, I saw a snow golem who seemed a little worried and out of place. Maybe this is another victim of the Supreme Gort's tyranny. Time to see if I can help. I flew down and spoke to him.
I'm extremely lucky you came by. I'm a prospector, you see. Jeepers is the name, a searcher of minerals, and my partner, Emmanuel Camelmore, was here helping me with my mineral mining until he was captured and taken by the dastardly privateer, Thornwolf.
A kidnapping? Oh no. And wait, you guys mine materials? Like netherwart blocks?
Oh, I have that in spades. If you go to the Pointed Stone Forest and save him, in exchange, I'll give you the materials you seek.
That sounds like a good deal to me, Jeepers. From day 36 to day 39, I made the treacherous journey through the Pointed Stone Forest. It didn't take me long to find an impressive-looking compound in the middle of the forest. This must be where Jeepers' business partner, Mr. Camelmore, is being held hostage. And sure enough, I saw the terrifying Thornwolf patrolling around the compound, as fierce as his name suggested.
I can't wait to fight somebody today, especially if they try to get in.
Okay, this isn't gonna be easy. I'm stronger than I used to be, but I still don't want to charge into a direct fight with Thornwolf if I don't have to. Instead, maybe I'll fly in and enter from above. They're probably keeping Camelmore on the top floor. I might be able to save him without fighting anybody. Little did I know, this whole situation was a lot more strange than I could ever imagine. From day 40 to day 43, I put my infiltration plan into action. I flew up into the air and swooped down onto the top of the compound, avoiding being seen by Thornwolf. I used my pickaxe to dig through the top of the building, exactly as I'd planned, and jumped down into the top floor where Camelmore was being hidden. I jumped to the rescue, but when Emmanuel Camelmore saw me, he strangely didn't seem pleased to be rescued. gratitude.
Wait, who are you? What are you doing in here?
I'm here to help you? Before I could ask any more questions, the Thorn Wolf burst in. He was even freakier looking up close.
You, get away from my client!
Client, more like hostage. We flew into battle, with me needing to give everything I had to stand a chance against the fury of the Thorn Wolf. But in the end, I came out on top. Just me and Camelmore were left in the room.
You fool! You just destroyed my bodyguard!
Bodyguard? I beg your pardon? Before I could delve any further into this strange mystery, Jeepers, the snow golem, burst into the room and blasted Camelmore with a firework crossbow, instantly destroying him. What? I thought he was your business partner.
He was indeed, old sport, but we had a falling out. He cooped himself in here and took half of the company's assets with him. I needed to take him out of the equation and reclaim sole ownership, which you helped wonderfully with. Sorry about the deception, but if it makes you feel any better, here's the materials I promised you.
He did indeed give me the material, making me feel very morally weird in the process. Yeah, thanks, I guess. From day 44 to day 49, I arrived back at my base with the material in hand, feeling extremely conflicted about how I had obtained it in the first place. But nonetheless, Amadeus was extremely pleased with my progress.
Even if you obtained it as a result of being an unwitting pawn in a duplicitous power struggle, it's still a victory that you got your hands on this, Zozo, and I'm extremely grateful to have it now.
I'm glad, Amadeus. That takes the edge off a little. Amadeus the Armorer took the material and went off to get working. In the meantime, I was thinking about the bizarre incident that unfolded with Camelmore at the Pointed Stone Forest. Maybe I should invest a little more heavily in home security. I mined up as much wood as I could and decided to build a perimeter wall around my base just in case the Supreme Gort came back with an army of snow leopards. It's extremely unlikely, but still, best to prepare for it and not need it, than need it and not have it. After I was done, Amadeus came over to excitedly show me how the statue was progressing. This looks absolutely amazing! If you know what it is, let me know down in the comments. I wonder if anyone will get it before I do. From day 50 to day 53, my base was surrounded by a company of ruthless snow leopard mercenaries.
Come out, criminals! We will gobble you up for the Supreme Gort! Gobble for Gort! Gobble for Gort!
They continued to chant as I used my tarantula hockey lytra to fly out and meet them in battle. I'm a flying spider monkey now. My energy blast rained down on the snow leopards, taking out a bunch of them in the process. Then I slashed away at the rest of them with my iron sword, my armor protecting me from all the damage. Soon, there was no snow leopards left. Huzzah! I've avoided another punishment. I've got to tell Amadeus. I was about to leave when the Supreme Gort appeared in front of me, ready for battle.
I gort you now, spider monkey. Surrender to the law.
Never! I fired a couple energy blasts, then I sword fought with the Supreme Gort until he lost another of his extra lives. Alright, so much for that Gort. Bring on the next Gort. But the Gort was gone. He didn't respawn behind me. Where did he go? Did I get him? Just then, I saw Amadeus the Armorer being dragged away from the base by the Supreme Gort.
You are under arrest for forging illegal armors, associating with other lawbreakers, and worst of all, for revealing my weakness.
Do your worst, Supreme Gort. Zozo will take you down, along with the rest of your lives.
As if! Nothing can stop the Supreme Gort.
I ran over as fast as I could. I couldn't stop the Supreme Gort from taking Amadeus away. No! If only I was more powerful. Next time, I'll get him for sure. My regrets and sadness swirled within me, unlocking new powers within my spider monkey form. 30 more hearts and the ability to warp a short distance. But would it be enough to rescue my friend someday? From day 54 to day 57, I was taking a swim to relax from the previous day. I hate this situation. My closest friend and ally has been kidnapped, and I'm here soaked and sad. It shouldn't be like this. While I was toiling away, Jeepers the Snow Golem arrived at my base.
Zozo, old chap, how have you been keeping?
Not great, honestly. A close friend of mine got kidnapped by the minions of the Supreme Gort. If I can't save him in time, he's probably gonna get executed, and then I'll be all alone out here, a sitting duck.
Then you're lucky I arrived. I'm still grateful for that nasty business you helped me out with regarding Thornwolf and Camomore. In exchange, I procured a gift for you.
That's when he gave me a strange little secret key. Oh, what's this?
It's a key into the Supreme Court's jail. I figured you'd be using it to break out. Not in, but whatever works, right?
This is exactly what I needed. Using this key, I'm gonna save my friend. From day 58 to day 62, I decided that there was no victory to be found in just sitting around and moping about Amadeus being thrown into the Supreme Court's jail. Friendship is forever, and so are diamonds. It's time to get myself some diamond gear. I returned to the classic mining cavern, ready to nab myself some glittery goodies that give me an edge when I infiltrated the evil base to save my closest friend. But the last thing I expected to see was a vicious tortoise waiting in the mining cavern for me.
Ha, ha, ha. You fell right into my trap, Zozo. The Supreme Court put a bounty on your head. I'm gonna claim the prize for myself.
He was truly a terrifying enemy, but lucky for me, he was also extremely slow. While he was moving so slowly towards me, I quickly ran in and mined up some of the diamonds I needed, then ran right past him with my spider monkey speed.
I'll get you next time, Zozo.
With the terrifying tortoise in my metaphorical rearview mirror, I was able to return to the base and use my diamonds to forge some awesome new gear. A diamond pickaxe and a diamond sword. Supreme Court, your days are numbered. From day 63 to day 66, I stared at the half-finished statue, thinking about all the good times that me and Amadeus spent together before the Supreme Court took him. Amadeus, you taught me everything I know about this world. You taught me how to live outside the law without losing my sense of goodness. You taught me the greatest weakness of the Supreme Court. You saved me, and now I'm gonna save you. And if you want to save yourself from having a dull YouTube timeline, then you've got to subscribe to Zozo for more awesome Minecraft adventure videos! From day 67 to day 70, I began my infiltration mission into the Supreme Court's jail. I'm breaking in to rescue Amadeus. There were snow leopards guarding every entrance and patrolling the walls. You know, I never questioned it before, but where did he get so many of these guys? Did he create some kind of snow leopard reserve to make his army? Is that even legal? Well, I guess since he did it, that's all beside the point. I took out a couple leopard guards and worked inside the prison. The place was huge, clearly designed to hold hundreds, maybe even thousands of prisoners. And yet, it was also completely empty. Why did he build such a large prison if he just executes everybody anyway? Then, I remembered the Gort sword. He said he stole that from a former prisoner. Maybe he wants Amadeus to make him some armor, which he can then just call his own. It was a sinister plan. I believe the Supreme Court was definitely capable of it, but because of his greed, I'd have a chance to save my Amadeus. Just hang in there a little bit longer, Amadeus. Your little buddy is on his way. From day 71 to day 74, I made my way deeper into the prison, horrified by the empty cells, each one built for a criminal that was never given a trial before being fed to snow leopards under the Supreme Court's rule. I kept on searching for the cell that held Amadeus until I was suddenly face to face with the Supreme Court himself. He was sparkling and looked like he meant business.
Breaking into my jail? Illegal! Your punishment will be dealt to you swiftly by my own two hands. So say I, the Supreme Court.
That diamond armor, did you make Amadeus make that for you?
This old thing, ha! It's merely a mock-up for the supreme armor of Gort. Your criminal accomplice is currently in the dungeon workshop, slaving over a forge to make the real thing.
So he's alive! Good. You won't be for long. I battled the Supreme Gort, using my warp ability to sneak up behind him and slash him with my diamond sword. By now, I had fought this guy so many times that I was used to his attack patterns. I warped a short distance away from him and pelted him with energy blasts until he went down, dropping the full diamond armor on the ground. I know he's still got 5 lives left, but at least now I can keep him from equipping that diamond armor. I'll use it for myself. Once I put on the armor, I remembered what the Supreme Gort said about the workshop. I knew Amadeus was there, so I went to find it. From day 75 to day 78, I burst into the dungeon workshop like a big darn hero and found Amadeus the Armorer working at a pure evil, totally legal forge. Amadeus, I'm here to rescue you.
Good to see you, little buddy. I stalled for a time to make the Supreme Gort's armor because I knew you'd reach me before the rest of the 100 days were up.
Let's get you out of here. I freed Amadeus, and together we headed for the prison exit.
Zozo, there's something you need to know.
Don't worry about it. Save it for after we've escaped. I felt a chill on my back as the Supreme Gort appeared behind us. Go on! I shouted to Amadeus. I'll hold him off and catch up with you. Amadeus ran out the prison door and got far away from the horrible building.
You'll be punished even more for that one, Zozo. Nobody releases my prisoners. It's illegal.
Oh, please. Like you said, you can only punish me once, but you won't even get that far, Supreme Gort. We fought, and once again, I bested the Supreme Gort and caused him to be defeated. Ha! This just keeps getting easier. I'm gonna run away before he responds. From day 79 to day 84, the Supreme Gort respawned inside his prison and made his way to a secret room which housed the Supreme Armor of Gort. Amadeus had already completed it a few days ago, but he wasn't able to warn me about it. The Supreme Gort put the armor on, and its power transformed him into an even more powerful Supreme Gort.
I'm more Gort than anyone can handle now. Deal with my brand new "Don't Mess With Me" law. The punishment is getting totally thwopped by me in a fight to the doom.
From day 85 to day 89, I reunited with Amadeus at my base, and we hatched a scheme on what to do about the Supreme Gort's last 5 lives. Amadeus also filled me in on the whole deal with the Supreme Armor of Gort and how powerful it now made our common enemy.
Right now, taking even one more of his spawns would prove difficult. You're going to need an edge. Take this fire aspect enchantment for now. Well, I think of something.
Amadeus gave my diamond armor a Thorns enchanted book, which would deal damage to enemy mobs with every hit they made against me. Armed with that defense, I felt a bit more relieved and went to look at the statue, which Amadeus had already finished by the time I had gotten home. It was a statue of Spider-Man, the greatest superhero of all time, and an inspiration to any creature with spider in its name. Spider-Man always did what was right, even when the law turned against him. And now, the right thing to do is to defeat the Supreme Gort. I went back to Amadeus, who had made use of his extra time to think and formulate a way for me to win.
What if there was a way to take out all of the Supreme Gort's remaining lives in one go?
That would be perfect. Can we do that?
Only if you master the most forbidden technique there is. You must drink the lost potion of Wither and gain the ability to shoot Wither Skulls. It's the ultimate rule to break, but I think you can do it and still be a good guy.
Where can I find this Wither potion?
It was discovered and then forgotten by a dubious mining company in the Pointed Stone Forest. You can probably find them at their old hideout.
From day 90 to day 94, I returned to the scene of the crime. Well, one of them anyway. The building for the mining company that I had helped destroyed in a weirdly contentious side quest. Oh man, I still get chills thinking about that. As I explored the derelict mini base, I looked at many open rooms when I found a pit I descended down into. At the bottom of the pit, there was a storage area where I came upon the Wither Potion. Or rather, the only potion I could find. But it was, without a doubt, the Wither Potion! I'll be taking this. As I left the base, another group of snow leopards showed up to try and get me.
The Supreme Gort may only have 5 lives left, but you're about to get 8, eaten to be grammatically correct.
Thanks for confirming, but soon that number won't matter. I'll wither them all away. Hey! The snow leopards surrounded me. They were no match for the thorns enchantment. I didn't even have to attack while my armor did all the work. I guess a good defense is the best offense. From day 95 to day 97, I could hear Amadeus the armorer hard at work on his greatest suit of armor yet. He made sure to put every bit of effort and skill that had earned him his infamous reputation into the material of the armor, and the end result was a mighty set of netherite armor that would rival the supreme armor of Gort.
I called this one the excellent armor of Zozo. It's yours to wear into battle from now until the end of your adventure.
Thanks, Amadeus. You've been the greatest friend that any spider monkey could have ever hoped for.
And you've been the greatest spider monkey a friend could ever hope for, Zozo. Good luck against the Supreme Gort. And remember, Amadeus the Armorer will always have your back.
On day 98, I wandered through the forest and admired all the beautiful trees and thanked all of this channel's super cool subscribers for being so awesome and watching all of my great videos whenever I upload them. Make sure to search for more Zozo videos when you're done watching this one. No matter what he says, the Supreme Gort can't stop you from enjoying more of my adventures. On day 99, I was all armored up and ready for my final battle with the Supreme Gort. Who wouldn't expect this to be the day where the rest of his extra lives would go bye-bye? I never did find out what crime the Supreme Gort had charged me with, but I guess at this point, it doesn't matter. It's not about the destination, it's about the unfair rules you defy along the way. In the depths of the super prison, the Supreme Gort was waiting for me to arrive. He was wielding his Gort sword and wearing the supreme armor of Gort. It was a full Gort ensemble. I was ready for whatever his 5 remaining lives had in store.
Welcome to your doom, you rule-breaking little rule-breaker! I, the Supreme Gort, do declare that on this day, the 99th since I first sentenced you to punishment, you shall verily be disposed of with the full ferocity of the authority invested in me by the laws of this overworld and every Gort within it.
You talk a whole lot for somebody who is about to get withered away.
Withered away? What in Gort's name do you mean by that?
I drank the wither potion and received the forbidden powers within, becoming the ultimate spider monkey in both body and soul. I had 100 hearts and an infinite number of wither skulls to fire at my nemesis. It's time for the Gort to be adjourned.
What the Gort?
I shot 5 wither skulls at the Supreme Gort before he even had a chance to dodge. The skull-shaped projectiles pierced through his armor and instantly burned away every last one of his remaining stocks.
No! I, the Supreme Gort, cannot be destroyed! It's against the rules!
The thing about that is, you don't make the rules anymore. And just like that, the Gort was no more. On day 100, Amadeus and I celebrated the downfall of the Supreme Gort back at our base. We were now free to live our lives by our own rules, and with trust and respect for each other, I knew we'd made the right ones.
Care for some more armor, Zozo?
You know it, Amadeus. There's no rules against that. Just then, Jeepers the snow golem ran into the hideout, looking totally frantic.
Zozo, you won't believe what has just happened. Thornwolf's brother has come to the overworld in search of revenge. You gotta lend me a hand.
Actually, Jeepers, I still feel really bad about that, so I'm gonna let you handle it. Besides, the bad guy in this challenge was the Supreme Gort, and he's toast.
Oh, okay. Congratulations.
Jeepers left the base, and Amadeus and I returned to celebrating, and everything was better forever. On day 1, I spawned into the Amaranth Field as a blinged out diamond monkey. Ooh, I'm so shiny, even if I am a little baby monkey. I hopped around and started exploring the fields. It was so cool and colorful. It seemed like this was going to be a really fun adventure. Until a huge, terrifying creeper spider broodmother started crawling towards me. I'd never seen anything like it. Oh my goodness, you're certainly interesting.
I don't think you're being sincere. You don't think I'm interesting at all, do you? You actually think I'm strange and frightening.
What? No, you're putting words in my mouth.
Well, unlucky for you, I am strange and frightening. And so are my many children.
You have children?
Yes, so many. And within 100 days, we will rule the world, and every other creature will be destroyed. Starting with you glittering little monkey.
Creeper Spider Broodmother fired a powerful exploding fireball at me that blew up the ground near my feet. I was nowhere near powerful enough to fight back. All I could do was run away as fast as I could. That Broodmother didn't seem nice. I don't want it and it's young to rule over the world, so I better find a way to stop it before it gets out of hand. On day 2, I began to explore more of the Amaranth Fields, taking in the sights and trying my best to learn my way around this interesting, beautiful biome. Hopefully, without running into any more trouble from the Broodmother Creepy Spider or her creepy crawly kids. While I was roaming around, I checked and noticed I had 10 hearts. Not tons of health, so I'd have to be careful not to take too much damage. Lucky for me, I found some apples growing on a tree, out of reach for ordinary chumps walking around on 2 legs. But with my diamond monkey agility, I was able to climb up into the branches and grab that sweet fruit. Suddenly, while I was enjoying my apples up in the tree, I heard a telltale hissing coming from below. I peered out and was met with the sight of a creeper down below.
There you are. The Broodmother said there was a lost little diamond monkey out here all alone.
Go away, I don't want any trouble.
Then you never should have wandered up that tree. You're in the perfect spot for some exploding.
The creeper started getting ready to blow. I looked around, trying desperately to find an escape route, but there was no tree close enough for me to jump to. I tried to distance myself from the impending blast and braced myself for the loud boom, when all of a sudden, nothing happened. I looked back down, and someone had attacked the creeper, stopping it exploding at the last minute. A phantom fox.
You, come with me quickly. More will be on the way, so we have to get out of here.
Say no more. On day 3, the phantom fox led me through the Amaranth Fields after saving me. We walked quite a distance from where the creeper had found me before finally arriving at a campfire in a clearing.
We'll be safe here. Perhaps now we can be acquainted. I am Philo of the Phantom Fox clan.
Nice to meet you. My name's Zozo.
It's been a while since the Amaranth Fields have played host to a diamond creature. This can only be a good omen though. We will need all the help we can get to defeat the Broodmother.
Oh yeah, I had a run-in with her. Not a fan, I'll tell you that much. Philo and I were soon joined by another, a wise old wind serpent. He explained more about what was going on.
The creatures of the Amaranth Fields used to live in perfect harmony, but the Broodmother sought to disrupt all of that and use her spiderlings to control the entire world. We must unite and stop her.
Well, I'm no parenting expert, but I don't think she should be making her kids take over the world with her. I'll do what I can.
Then welcome to our resistance, Zozo. You are one of us. Philo will guide you. There is much to be done.
From day 4 to day 5, Philo and I went off together to search for an ideal location to set up shop. We'd need a base, a place to call home, if we were going to reunite the creatures of the fields and put a stop to the Broodmother's schemes. So I knocked down some trees and gathered up some wood. I had enough to craft a wooden pickaxe, and then we went off looking for something stronger, stone. Before long, I had gathered up enough stone to make a full set of stone tools. There was even enough left over to make a snazzy stone sword. Now, I could defend myself if any more mean mobs showed up. Turned out, that was just about to happen. It was while I was building the first few rooms of our base that an icy creeper snuck up on me. It must have just come across us by chance, but it startled me. I panicked and wildly swung my sword, taking the icy creeper down, but looking a little clumsy when I did. Afterwards, Philo came over to talk.
Not exactly elegant, are you? Here, if you're going to swing that thing around, let me show you the proper technique.
That would be amazing. But first, I'm hungry. Do you have anything I could eat?
Oh, fine. Here are some apples. Now, follow me.
Philo imparted some Phantom Fox wisdom to me and taught me how to fight. I could feel myself getting stronger. I now had 30 whole hearts. Philo even taught me a brand new power too, a freezing ice blast. Ice powers. It makes sense, seeing as I'm so iced out. From day 6 to day 8, Philo sent me off to the Cherry Blossom Forest to gather resources. We needed some wood for the roof of our base, and there were far more trees here than the Amaranth Fields. Plus, he said I'd need to learn my way around the world if I was going to help the other creatures stop the Broodmother. But while I was on my travels, chopping down trees and minding my own business, I noticed someone in a spot of trouble nearby. A stranger looked like they were being attacked by a basalt snake.
Away with you, beast! Unless you want me to rock the house down!
The stranger must have been a geomancer. Who else would make such an awkward rock pun? As he ran away, I drew my stone sword and decided to help out. This was it, my first taste of combat. I I attacked the basalt snake. It was a slippery enemy, dodging out of the path of my swings and then lunging towards me when it found an opening. I was barely able to leap out of the way in time, saved at the last second by my monkey agility. At last, I saw an opening and took my chance, landing the winning strike.
Not bad carrying there, lad. You're clearly not one of the Broodmother's lackeys. Tell you what, you fancy giving me a hand, taking care of some of that creepy spider's creepy spawn?
Sounds good to me. That ought to slow her down. From day 9 to day 10, I went with the Geomancer deeper into the cherry blossom forest, looking for a nest where some of the creeper spider broodmother's children were hiding, waiting for the command to take over. We were trying to sneak up undetected, but suddenly we were ambushed by one of the creeper spiderlings. It was way smaller than the broodmother, but it was still creepy.
Mama said you can't be here. I'm gonna tell on you.
I fought as hard as I could, but the creeper spiderling was far too tough. Every time I tried to corner it, it would scuttle out of reach. I had no choice but to retreat. I was a little disheartened. If I couldn't take on one of the broodmother's offspring, what chance did I stand against her?
Don't be so hard on yourself, lad. Life, as I've experienced, it's a rocky road. Don't you give up now.
Gee, thanks. You need a place to stay? Come back to my base. From day 11 to day 12, the Geomancer and I made our way back to the base in the Amaranth Fields. Straight away, I got to making a storage room with plenty of space for all the resources I gathered. I then went on to work on the Geomancer's room. I added a floor to my base, which gave him plenty of space to practice rocking out if he needed to.
Well, this is all just too kind, Zozo. I've got no coin, nor any token to give you as thanks, lad. But here, let me use my powers to really rock this joint.
The Geomancer really was stone cold brilliant. He built an entire smelting place outside and a new storage room just to say thanks for letting him stay. This was amazing. It really helped improve the base. Thanks to him, things were really coming along. We even got to talking about the broodmother and why she was so set on taking over the world.
I've been studying the fauna of this place for quite some time. It really is fascinating. All the creatures here are bestowed with great power. The broodmother has the power of dominance, the will to take control of everything. But what's interesting is there is a creature made to be the embodiment of good and selfishness. A diamond monkey.
Wow, so you're saying I might be able to defeat her?
Zozo, lad, I'd say you've got a better chance than anyone.
Later, I paid a visit to a nearby mine and dug up some iron ore. Now I could put that brand new furnace to good use. I turned the ore into some iron ingots, then smelted those with iron replacements for my sword and pickaxe. While I was gone, the Geomancer placed down some fences to make a sheep pen. I lured some sheep in to make a farm. From day 13 to day 15, I spoke to Philo about what I could do to get stronger. He suggested that I should head off on a small journey to do some hands-on training. You're sure about this?
Of course, you're a diamond monkey, and that means you're the living embodiment of all good. And being good means banishing evil, so go do some banishing.
I headed back to the Cherry Blossom Forest, although I wasn't exactly sure how I was meant to banish evil. That seemed like more of an ongoing life goal than a simple training exercise. I didn't get too much time to think about it though, before I was confronted by another angry creeper.
Hey, my twin brother was sent to catch a diamond monkey like you for our master, the broodmother, and he never made it back.
Yeah, my Phantom Fox friend sort of destroyed him.
He did what? Oh, you're so gonna pay.
The creeper came at me. I leaped back to a safe distance in case it exploded. I used my diamond monkey reflexes to stay out of range of the creeper's explosive radius, then hopped in close when it was safe to deal some damage with my iron sword. Finally, I was able to finish him off. But that wasn't all. The defeated creeper dropped a health potion, which gave me a whole 60 hearts when I drank it. The whole encounter had given me the experience to teach myself a brand new move too, the knockback punch. From day 16 to day 19, I ventured out further and came across the deep canyons stretching as far as the eye could see. I had to be careful traveling the higher ground. One wrong step, and I'd have a really nasty fall. But it was while traversing my way down to the lower depths of the canyons that I happened to stumble across something pretty unexpected. It was an old journal that somebody must have dropped. I picked it up and took a look, reading some of what was written inside. It started happening much sooner than we thought. The bad needs good to counter it. It can grow and grow. That's why the broodmother is getting stronger.
We need balance, otherwise her evil power will grow until it cannot be contained. It will sweep across the world under the many legs of her and her spawn, unless we can find someone who as good as she is bad. Suddenly, while I was reading, I heard a familiar hissing drawing near and turned to see a group of creepers behind me. There he is, boys! That's the diamond monkey who took out Jim! Oh, and that the broodmother wants us to destroy too, I guess. Jim was old school, one of the good ones, man. Jim? That other creeper? Yeah, our twin! Why are so many of you twins? Well, that's a funny story, actually. You see, all creepers, get 'em, boys! The creepers attacked, but I was feeling confident. After all, I'd only just taken down one of them and gotten stronger as a result. So swinging my sword the way Philo had taught me, I made quick work of dispatching this new group of creepers. From day 20 to day 22, I made the long journey back to the Amaranth Fields. I hadn't returned to base in a few days, so I thought it was about time for a rest and a resupply. Once I was back at my base, I headed back to the mines, gathering up some more iron ore from a vein deep underground. That ore I then turned into iron ingots, which I used then to create a brand new iron chestplate. With all these new hearts, new powerful attacks, and now some added protection against damage, I was feeling ready to go back and face the creeper spiderling from earlier. I crept through the cherry blossom forest, making sure to keep to the treetops and using my diamond monkey agility to my advantage. I came across the spiderling, and when I was ready, leapt down from the treetops to attack. My ambush worked, catching the creeper spiderling off guard. Startled, it panicked, and I was able to use my knockback attack to blast it off its feet. Then, using my iron sword, I finished it off. I had beaten the spiderling! But all the commotion had attracted some unwanted attention from someone I didn't realize was nearby, the broodmother!
You think that's all it'll take to stop me? Destroy my spiderlings! I don't even care! Even if you're able to kill just one, there will be two more ready to take its place.
Look, you're only this powerful because there was no one good enough to cancel out your bad. But I'm around now, and a diamond monkey is the embodiment of goodness. So why don't we call this a stalemate? You and your creepy kids can call off this world domination plan. Just leave everyone alone, and we'll leave you alone.
Oh, but I'm not interested in there being balance. I don't need there to be good. Once my children and I have covered the world, then all that exists, all that is good or bad will be for me to decide. And you won't be around to stop me!
The broodmother launched one of her explosive fireballs at me. I thought about fighting back, but instead, I snuck off once she'd lost sight of me. I wasn't strong enough yet, and I could hear the geomancer's lesson in my head. Gotta remember, it's a rocky road. Could really go for some ice cream right about now. From day 23 to day 26, I made my way back to my base. Even though it had taken me a while to get back to it, I had taken down the spiderling that the geomancer had asked me to help defeat. I thought he'd want to hear the good news.
That's my boy! I'm proud of you, lad!
Since my chestplate had come in handy protecting me against the spiderling, I decided I needed to complete my set of armor. So I headed back to the mines, gathering up some iron ore from the vein. Once it had been made into ingots, and those had been smelted, I had a snazzy pair of iron boots, pants, and a helmet to match my chestplate. I even had enough iron left over to make the rest of the iron tools.
Ah, Zozo! I see you've learned the value of a good defense. You could say I had the same idea. Ta-da!
The geomancer had been back at it again, making upgrades to my base. This time, he'd constructed a roof on the house and a perimeter wall around the main base to protect the structure against attacks, just like a suit of armor. Great minds really did think alike. From day 27 to day 31, I decided I would head back through the canyons. After discovering the book I had found there, I was wondering if there was any more useful information waiting to be uncovered nearby. I didn't come across any more dropped journals, but I did meet a friendly leopard.
My name is Lorne. Delightful to meet the one who cleared out some of those pesky creepers. But be on your guard, my friend. There are more out here, and far worse monstrous creatures have aligned themselves with the wretched broodmother.
Thanks for the warning, Lorne. If it's not safe out here, then you should head back to my base.
Many thanks to you. I never thought I'd be lucky enough to witness a diamond monkey's selflessness again.
Searching around, I didn't find much else of interest, so I headed back to base not long after. Once there, I harvested some sheep's wool from the farm and used it to make some decorative banners that really livened the place up. But my excitement was short-lived, as Philo ran up to me in a blind panic.
Zozo, come quickly! Our friend is in need of your help!
From day 32 to day 35, I rushed after Philo back towards the campfire area. The wind serpent was under attack. There was no time to lose. He had set me on my path, and now I needed to help him. When we arrived, there were creepers coming from all directions. I had never seen so many in one place before. The hissing and rustling they all made was deafening. I climbed a tree, trying to get closer to the wind serpent in order to save him. I could see him fighting back against the creepers, but while his back was turned, one behind him started smoking. Look out! Boom! The creeper set off an explosive chain reaction, causing a bunch of others around it to also explode. By the time the smoke had cleared, only a few were left, but the wind serpent had been caught in the blast. No! I leaped down from the tree and attacked the remaining creepers. I finished off what was left of them, but it was far too late to save my friend. From day 36 to day 39, I tried to take my mind off of what had happened. I decided I'd go somewhere quiet to be alone with my thoughts and ended up wandering into the aspen forest. While I was there, thinking about the poor wind serpent, someone came up to me. It was a green manticore.
Excuse me, I couldn't help notice the glimmer of a diamond monkey. Aren't you meant to be the embodiment of goodness?
Yeah, I suppose, although I'm not feeling too good right now.
Well, sorry to bother you, but I just wanted to ask for your help.
The manticore showed me to the source of his troubles, a horrifying undead scorpion. I pulled out my sword and rushed into battle. The undead scorpion was vicious, swiping at me with its tails as I tried my best to defend. With a blast of my knockback attack, followed up with a combo of an ice blast, I was able to defeat the monstrous creature.
Oh, thank you so much. That thing was so menacing.
The green manticore explained that some creatures believed the power of the broodmother's bat was still getting stronger, so much that it was raising creepy creatures from beyond the grave. I had to stop this! From day 40 to day 43, I headed back to base to recollect myself and see if my friends had any more advice on how I could get strong enough to stop the broodmother. Much to my surprise, they had been working on improving the place while I had been gone. Philo had even made some nice new bookshelves and couches and came to me with a special request.
Zozo, with all this extra space, I think my friends from the Phantom Fox clan would feel very at home here. What do you think?
Philo, if they're anything like you, then we'd be lucky to have them here. With that, Philo let out a loud screeching call into the air to draw in his fellow Phantom Foxes. Before long, even more of them had started slinking out from the Amaranth Fields, and I welcomed them to their new home. Then, a familiar feline face showed up. It was Lorne the Leopard. Glad you made it.
Greetings, friend. Forgive me, but I am in need of your help. On my way, I was attacked by another ogre, a ghastly thing that has allied itself with the broodmother. Her badness has attracted all manner of otherworldly beasts.
Say no more, Lorne. You rest up here and heal. I'll take care of that nether ogre. From day 44 to day 49, I started to search for the nether ogre that had harmed my poor leopard friend Lorne. I decided the best place to start looking would be the canyons, since that's where I had last seen Lorne. If there was no sign, then I'd just retrace her steps heading back towards the base. I thought maybe I'd have some luck finding the nether ogre when I felt the ground start to shake. But where I was expecting to see the ogre emerge from, instead, I saw a monster I didn't want to find. It was the broodmother!
Ah, there you are. I've been looking all over for you.
Get back! How did you even find me?
Oh dear, the oh-so-goody-goody diamond monkey doesn't know.
Wait, you managed to find me in the aspen forest too. How do you always know where I am?
You should really pay more attention. My spiderlings are everywhere. They're very good at hiding, and they tell me everything they see.
You're spying on me? Why?
Well, I can't have you finding my nest, can I? And you're completely oblivious to where it is. Let's keep it that way.
Something snuck up from behind me. The legendary silver skeleton! The broodmother tricked me into an ambush. The mighty silver skeleton took up its weapon and came at me, and I had no choice but to fight back. From day 50 to day 53, I crossed swords with the silver skeleton. I tried my best to spot where the broodmother had got to, but she had scuttled back to the shadows, leaving her undead minion to finish me off. I did my best to parry each of his moves and tried to take a swing at him when I could. But then, I had a thought. If the broodmother's spiderlings were really watching me, then why not make sure she knew exactly what I could do? I froze him to the spot, so he was stuck fast and couldn't move. One more strike with my blade, and he was defeated. I had done it, but frozen pieces weren't the only things that fell to the floor. Among the icy remains of the silver skeleton were some mystical diamonds. I reached out to grab them and instantly had a flashback. I could see another diamond monkey like me. He wandered the same places, met the same friendly creatures, but there was one difference. Back then, there was balance. I wondered what happened to him, where he had gone, and how it had caused good and bad to become uneven. Took those mystical diamonds with me. I had a great use for them in mind later on. From day 54 to day 57, now that the distraction of the silver skeleton was dealt with, I continued my search for the Nether Ogre. When I ventured further into the canyons than I'd gotten before, it didn't take me long to track him down. There was no time for chit-chat with this monster. He came right at me, ready to attack. I guess the mobs that the Broodmother was teaming up with weren't all the brightest bunch, but they were some of the baddest. The ogre was big and strong. Its heavy fists were like huge boulders. I had to remember to use my smaller size and stature to my advantage, keeping out of the way. But without any tall trees nearby, I couldn't leap up to safety. Eventually though, the Nether Ogre's angry swings and the frustration at not being able to catch me soon got the better of him. He started to get tired, slowing down. And once he was almost worn out, bam! My kickback punch knocked him right off the mountain. With the Nether Ogre defeated, I headed back to my base in the Amaranth Fields to tell Lorne the good news.
Why, thank you, friend. I'll sleep a little easier knowing that brood is gone.
Say, Lorne, did you ever meet another diamond monkey before me?
Of course. He was as kind and selfless as you, Zozo, but also wise and noble. Nobody knows where he went. Perhaps his time was up, but once he was gone, much of his goodness left with him, apart from that which he passed on to others. That's what's allowed the Broodmother to gain such power. There was an absence of good in the world, so she filled it with bad.
From day 58 to day 62, I decided to do some work on the base. After all, with the whole Phantom Fox clan here, the place needed some improvements. I expanded the pen that was holding the sheep, making more room so that more of them could fit in. More sheep meant more wool. Then, I had to get working on my idea to use the mystical diamonds I'd picked up from the silver skeleton. Problem was, I didn't have enough to actually make anything. Maybe I could find some normal diamonds to make up for it. Sure enough, I headed down into the mines and found just what I was looking for. Diamonds, and plenty of them. I started chipping them out of the stone wall, and before long, I had enough for my plan. I used the diamonds, both the normal kind and the mystical ones, to craft myself a brand new diamond sword and a pickaxe to match. Now I could dish out a lot more damage.
Zozo, come take some time to relax, sit with us a while, and see the good you're putting back into the world.
Philo invited me to come and hang out with him and the rest of his Phantom Fox friends. They'd really made the base into a more homely place, with a roaring fireplace and a nice living area where we all sat and chilled for a while. Philo also mentioned that they built a small cottage home for themselves and connected all the buildings with a nice path. The base was really coming together. From day 63 to day 66, I was finishing up a few minor improvements on my base when the Geomancer came to me with a new lead on what our next move should be.
I've been feeling a rumbling, lad. Tremors in the ground. The stones, they speak to me, rocking my very soul.
Okay, and what's the sound of the underground saying?
It might be telling me where the Broodmother's lair is. There's a lot of movement in the cypress swamplands. It is a vile, putrid place.
No wonder the Broodmother feels so at home there. I'll check it out. I headed off to the location the Geomancer pointed out. He was right about one thing. The place was gross. I had a weird feeling while I was there, almost as if I was being watched, and not just by the Broodmother spiderlings. Suddenly, I got startled by a warped phantom. I got ready for a fight, thinking that this was another undead being that the Broodmother had raised. But to my surprise, he was actually friendly.
Oh, thank the heavens, a diamond monkey. Goodness will be restored, and then I can rest again. That foul creeper spider Broodmother dragged me out from my eternal slumber, but I was at peace.
I'll do what I can. Hey, maybe there's some way to get you back to wherever you were before.
If you could, that'd be wonderful.
From day 67 to day 70, I traveled across the cypress swamplands with the warped phantom, and we soon came across the source of the trouble. One of the Broodmother's minions, a wither spider, had disrupted the phantom's tomb, and it was stopping his spirit from resting. So I leapt into action to give the ghost a hand. I wasn't anticipating such a tough fight, but even with my new mystical diamond sword, the wither spider was standing strong. I made a split-second decision to hit it with an ice blast attack, then strike it again with my mystical diamond sword, finally getting rid of it for good.
Oh, thank you very much. Back to peace I go.
From day 71 to day 74, I continued searching around the cypress swamplands, as creepy and stinky as it was. I was told that the creeper spider broodmother was lurking around here, so I can't give up until I've gathered some valuable intel. I climbed up to the tree canopy and walked until I saw something. Oh, a diamond gorilla! That reminds me, you should search Zozo on YouTube to find tons of awesome Minecraft 100 Days adventures. But things were about to get even more interesting because the creeper spider broodmother herself crawled out of the darkness towards me.
Welcome, Zozo, you silly little monkey. If I knew you were coming, I would have made tea. Instead, I'm going to make a fool of you.
Look, I don't necessarily think we need to fight. It's all about finding the balance between good and evil. We can find that without needing to fight each other.
You want balance, I want domination. And I know exactly how to get it. I've created so many creepers and so many creeper spiderlings. And in the end, if I have enough, them all blowing up at once would destroy the entire overworld. So everyone needs to do what I say, or that's exactly what will happen.
That's diabolical!
It's effective! You could learn a thing or two from me. Now run, little monkey, run!
The creeper spider broodmother fired another exploding fireball, and I ran for my life! From day 75 to day 78, I was sitting around my base, confused and afraid. Just couldn't stop thinking about what the creeper spider broodmother had said to me. Would she really blow up the entire overworld to get what she wants? That's a level of evil I've never even seen before, and I'm not sure any good would ever balance that out. But I was able to calm down with the help of a distraction, a visit from Lorne the Leopard.
Zozo, take a look outside. I made a cool watchtower on the base, so we can keep an eye out for any approaching creepers. We'll be extra safe now.
I took a look outside and saw that Lorne had done an amazing job on the watchtower. Seeing it made me forget about my doubts for a bit. And then, something even cooler happened when Philo the Phantom Fox approached me.
Zozo, I've been discussing with the rest of the Phantom Fox clan, and we've decided to give you one of our most treasured family antiques to use in your fight against the creeper threat. The magical enchanted guitar.
Wow, this is amazing! He passed me the guitar, and the second I equipped it and started to play a sick tune, I found my power growing. I reached 100 hearts, became bigger, stronger, and now had a new special ability, firing a powerful green laser. I'd hate to be the creeper spider broodmother now. From day 79 to day 84, I went back out to the cypress swamplands again with my newfound power and confidence, ready to take on the creeper spider broodmother for round 2. Couldn't see her anywhere. Instead, I was attacked by a nasty gang of whisperers, which I was able to pretty easily cut down with my awesome guitar. I can see why the Phantom Fox clan cared about this so much. I heard rustling in the bushes and turned to see a rabbit wolf hopping towards me.
Hey, thank you.
You're welcome. But for what?
Those whisperers have been a pain in my butt forever, and you finally took care of them. Here, and the spare diamond helmet. It didn't fit me anyway.
Oh wow, thank you! I'm better guarded now than ever before! From day 85 to day 89, I returned to my base, eager to show my friends my new shiny diamond helmet, when I saw a little gang of creepers crawling into my base, closing in on an innocent big axolotl. Oh no, I need to run them off! I fired ice blasts and swung my sword until the creepers were gone. Thankfully, none of them exploded near any of the structures on my base, but that didn't mean I could let them get away. But during the fight, I also saw that a creeper was running towards the innocent big axolotl. I couldn't let that happen. I ran over and destroyed the creeper immediately, even while the others ran away. But the big axolotl was extremely grateful for the help.
Thank you, Zozo. I owe you my life.
Stay safe out there, big axolotl. From day 90 to day 94, I traced back the way from where the creepers came, and it led me to the cypress swamplands. I reached an area that looked like some kind of nest, where I can only imagine the creeper spider broodmother was waiting inside. But what was even more worrying was the thing waiting on the bridge to the base. A massive, heavily armed vindicator. You're not a creeper or undead. What are you doing here?
I'm working for the Big Mama, and she wants me to show you that diamonds aren't forever.
But why would you want to work for her? She and her creepers want to rule the world.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna, so I want to fight for the winning team. So that's enough talking. Let's destroy each other.
And with that, the battle began! From day 95 to day 97, I fought the Vindicator who worked for the Creeper Spider broodmother. He was one of the most skilled opponents I'd ever faced, and he was dealing a lot of damage against me. But I managed to fight back. Little by little, I turned the tide until the Vindicator was on the ropes, and eventually, he gave up.
Please, I yield. Have mercy.
I'll let you go, but first, tell me something I don't know about your boss. Tell me something that'll help me win this battle for good.
Okay. Well, you don't need to worry about taking out the little creepers. Just focus on taking out the broodmother. She's got like a hive mind. You take out her, all the creepers go with her.
And with that, the Vindicator ran off, never to be seen again. So I just need to defeat the broodmother to defeat the whole army? Now I know for sure what I need to do. On day 98, as I prepared to return to the Cypress Swamplands to take on and defeat the Creeper Spider broodmother once and for all, I decided to speak to each one of my basemates one-on-one. First, I spoke to Lorne the Leopard.
I believe in you, Zozo. You're living up to the legacy of the Diamond Monkey. Once you're done, the forces of good and evil will be balanced once more.
Next, I went and spoke to Philo the Phantom Fox.
The safety of our clan owes much to you, Zozo. It's been an honor to work with you. I look forward to celebrating with you once you've defeated the evil.
And finally, I spoke to the Geomancer.
You're gonna squish that nasty spider like a big old newspaper, Zozo. Rock on, man, rock on! You're stone cold!
And with all those words of encouragement, I was ready to go. On day 99, I made my way back to the freaky, stinky Cypress Swamplands. I'd conserved all my energy, ready to unleash it in one big, awesome final battle with the Creeper Spider broodmother. I know the truth now. If I can defeat her, then I'll defeat her entire Creeper army. But there was one problem in the way. The Creeper army I was just talking about, all surrounding and guarding the Creeper nest. There was no way I could fight them all alone, and if I did, it might leave me weak and tired to take on the mean green mother herself. That's when, in my moment of need, the warped phantom whose spirit I'd helped lay to rest came running towards me. He was here to repay my good deed.
Zozo, go forth and destroy the evil that has plagued this land for so long. I'll distract her awful spawn. You get in there and save the world.
I will, Warped Phantom. Thank you. As the creepers swarmed the Phantom, I snuck up the stairs and into the well that the broodmother repurposed into its own nest. On day 100, I crawled down into the depths of the nest where I could take on the Creeper Spider broodmother alone. She was waiting for me, and she wasn't happy to see me.
You're not meant to be here, Diamond Monkey. This is my domain.
Soon, nowhere is going to be your domain. I wanted to coexist with you. I wanted there to be balance, but you left me no choice. All we can do is fight.
Then why even waste time talking? Allow me to destroy you, so me and my creepers can finally claim the world that is rightfully ours!
And so, the battle began! With my sick guitar, I began fighting the Creeper Spider broodmother as she shot her exploding fireballs at me. The battle was hard. She was the toughest enemy I'd ever faced. But I still had one more power to use against her. I knocked her towards the exit, and that scared her off. She prepared a surprise attack as I exited the room, but I was undeterred. She started to escape, but I summoned all my energy into one attack. My ultimate green laser! With that one last attack, the Creeper Spider broodmother died, taking all of her Creeper army with her, and the forces of good and evil were balanced across the land once more.
On day 1, I spawned as a little baby monkey in a banana tree, but I only have 3 hearts. As a monkey, I can climb trees. This is awesome. But where are all my monkey friends? I was all alone when suddenly an ocelot started stealing all the bananas from my tree. Ouch, what did I do to you? I didn't have any weapons to fight, so I quickly jumped down from the tree and ran away.
Whew, that was a close one. This water will be a peaceful place to catch my breath.
Just when I thought I was safe, I ran into a crocodile. Oh no! He wanted to eat me, but I couldn't fight him either, so I climbed up the tree to get away.
After reaching the top, I broke the leaves and took a look around.
This looks like a good place to hide for the night. I finally felt safe, but I couldn't help but wonder, why was I the only monkey at the tree?
As I watched the sunset, I thought about how beautiful but dangerous this world is. How could a little monkey like me ever make a difference? I just need to find some friends and lay low, but I'll focus on that later and get some rest.
On day 2, I returned to the banana tree and the ocelot was gone. I'm hungry. I need some of these bananas. I decided to grab as many as I could to take with me on my journey ahead. I didn't see any other monkeys around, so I spent the day gathering wood and stone to make myself some stone tools. While I was doing that, I stumbled across a village of other monkeys.
Wow, this place looks great. I'll have to ask someone if they've seen my tribe. I made my way to the top of the hill and saw a wise old monkey looking out at the village.
Hey, have you seen any other monkeys like me around? My new friend explained to me that the banana trees in the area were slowly disappearing, and the monkeys were too. I couldn't believe it, so I grabbed any supplies I could around the village and then left to search for my tribe. By day 3, I had found a nice little forest to call my new home. This will work great. I climbed up the tallest tree and started working on a treehouse for myself. It was hard work, but I'm not afraid of a little hard work. I took a break from building to work on my food source. I planted some banana trees, which grew really fast.
Wow, that is one good-looking banana tree. Let's see what these bananas are like. I picked the bananas off the tree and saw they were special golden bananas. I couldn't wait to take a bite. Wow, these are so good. Suddenly I grew into an adult monkey with 5 hearts. All right, 2 more hearts. I feel stronger and have a jump boost. I can run faster too. With my new abilities, I finished my treehouse in no time. It's not much, but it's a place to call home. That night I started hearing horrible noises outside my treehouse. When I took a look, my house was surrounded by spiders. Oh great, I totally forgot to put torches at the bottom of my base. I hope I can fight these guys off. Good thing I just made myself a sword. Get back, you creepy crawlers. I won't let you get me. It was a tough fight, but I was able to clear them all out. Maybe I'm tougher than I thought. Or maybe it was just my new sword. Yeah, probably that. With the spiders gone, I could finally get some much needed sleep. On days 4 and 5, I set off to try and find my monkey family, but I ran into the ocelot I saw before. Hey, what are you doing here? He demanded that I give him my bananas so he could give them to his boss. No way I'm not giving you my bananas. Who is your boss and why does he want them? He told me his boss Buff Tiger didn't answer to anyone, especially not little monkeys like me. Before I could respond, he attacked me. Ouch, I'm not letting you pick on me this time. That ocelot was way stronger than I thought and hit me really hard. Luckily, I could climb trees and jump really high, so I could easily get out of the way and hit him back. It took everything I had, but I was able to wear him down and take him out. That was exhausting, but at least I know who I'm up against. But I still had so many questions. Why do they want bananas? And who is this Buff Tiger guy? What kind of name is that anyway? I was able to beat the ocelot, but there was clearly a bigger fight ahead, so I headed back home to prepare for the battle to come. On days 6 to 8, I found a cave to do some mining. If I was going to get to the bottom of this, I needed the gear to do it. Whoa, this cave is huge. I bet I'll be able to find all kinds of resources in here. While I was down there, I found flint, coal, and iron. When I got home, I crafted some furnaces, smelted the iron, and crafted an iron axe, pickaxe, sword, as well as some iron boots. It's just a little bit of protection, but these boots are better than nothing. By then, night had fallen and I could hear noises coming from outside the base. Hello? Who's there? I broke a hole in my fencing and took a peek over the edge. It was a bunch of zombies. Oh shoot, I forgot to put out torches again. Hey guys, we don't have to fight. Why don't you just leave me alone? Alright, suit yourself. They didn't seem too happy with me being there. Eat iron, flesh face. They left me with no choice, so I fought back with my new sword and won. That felt like a much easier fight with my new equipment. I was feeling better already, but definitely needed some rest, so I hopped into bed for the night. On days 9 and 10, I woke up hungry. I had some more bananas to eat, but I needed to find something more filling than that. I decided to make a boat and use it to explore along the river. When I was exploring, I saw another village in the distance. I'm sure the monkeys there can help me find something good to eat, but as I entered the village, it was empty. Where is everyone? Something seems off. The place was deserted, so I helped myself to some wheat and watermelons to take back home. As I was rowing back home, I saw something moving in the trees. Those must be the missing monkeys from the village. But who's that? On a lower tree, I saw a tiger. Could that be the buff tiger I'd been hearing so much about? He didn't look so buff to me. It looked like he was trapping those monkeys. I had to save them. I quickly climbed up a nearby tree and called out to him. Hey, what do you think you're doing with those monkeys?
I'm taking these monkeys captive so they can build things for me. It's incredibly difficult when you don't have thumbs.
I don't care how many thumbs you have. It isn't right. I didn't have a second to lose. I quickly jumped up the other trees to try and get to the trapped monkeys. Buff Tiger saw what I was doing and started moving towards them too. I had to beat him to the top. When I reached the top, I hurried and made a bridge for the monkeys to escape. Quick everyone, run across and we can get out of here. Buff Tiger let out a roar, which seemed to freeze all of them except for one, who hurried and ran across the bridge to my tree. Watch out! Buff Tiger jumped across the tree and broke the end of the bridge, blocking the rest of the monkeys off. I couldn't believe it. I was getting ready to try and jump across when the other monkey called out to me.
Don't attack him. He's stronger than he looks. We'll have to try and rescue them later.
All I could do was watch as he led them all away. Come on, let's hurry and get out of here. My new friend and I hurried out of the tree and jumped into a boat. Once we had reached the shore, she explained to me how Buff Tiger had kidnapped them from the nearby village. We decided we would team up and stop him. By the way, what's your name?
My friends call me Chim Chim.
Nice to meet you, Chim Chim. Now let's go kick some tiger tail. On days 11 through 14, Chim Chim and I arrived at the base and got right to work, building a space for her to live in. We extended the base over to the nearby tree and put up some torches. Hey, this is looking really great. It's going to be nice having a roommate around. With Chim Chim set up, I headed out to find some more supplies for the fight ahead. I was walking along when I started hearing a weird noise. What in the world is that? I cut some grass and almost stepped on a Komodo dragon. Ah, get away! I tried hitting it with my sword, but it hit back hard. Oh man, I don't feel so good. The dragon had poisoned me, which brought me down to half a heart. I gotta get out of here. While I was running away, I came across some chickens, which gave me an idea. Hey guys, I need your feathers. I'm sure you won't mind. Hearing no complaints, I gathered up all their feathers, put down a crafting table, and made myself a bow and some arrows. That dragon won't stand a chance against me now. I ran back over to the dragon and hopped up a tree. Haha, good luck getting to me this time. I shot off a couple arrows before the dragon tried to charge me. You can't get me up here. I fired one more arrow and took him out. This thing is definitely going to come in handy. From there, I headed into a dark forest and gathered some wood, mushrooms, dirt, and stone. Once I collected that, I started a mine near my base. While I was down in the mines, I got some iron, gold, and coal. I better go get crafting. I headed back into the base where Chim Chim watched me craft a new set of iron armor. I also put together a spear. I wasn't going to need my sword anymore, so I tossed that over to Chim Chim. Hopefully you won't need this, but hold on to it, just in case. Next, I headed down to the water and cleared out an area to plant a farm. I took out my hoe, tilled the ground, and then planted some wheat seeds. I also made sure to plant some watermelon as well, since it was Chim Chim's favorite food. Then I put down some wood and set up some cocoa beans. Wow, this little starter camp is already starting to look like a home. On day 15, Chim Chim woke me up before the sun had risen. Chim Chim, what's going on?
I couldn't sleep. There's a monkey that I think you need to meet, and he can't wait.
Another monkey? Lead the way. Chim Chim led me out of the base, and we entered a dark forest. It's a good thing you know where you're going, otherwise I'd be completely lost. We soon came across a small hut hidden in the thick trees. We entered the hut and inside was a monkey shaman. Hey there, what's going on? The shaman looked deep into my eyes.
The great spirits have long foretold the day when a cursed tiger will seek to enslave all monkeys. They prophesied that he will steal all the bananas and use that to capture and control all the monkeys to do his will. But all hope would not be lost. A monkey would be sent to us who will master the land and defeat the tiger. Zozo, you are that monkey.
I was stunned. No, it's not possible. I couldn't stop Buff Tiger before. How could I be the monkey of legend? I don't have the strength or weapons to possibly save everyone. I'm sorry, but you got the wrong guy. I was too embarrassed to stay there any longer, so I left the hut to head home. I needed to get some rest. On days 16 through 19, I woke up and noticed that Chim Chim was missing. I looked all around the base but couldn't find her anywhere. Chim Chim! I couldn't think of where she would go, but there was one place I knew that was incredibly dangerous. I really hoped she wouldn't be there. As I walked to the edge of the cliff, I could see Chim Chim trapped in the lava. Hang on, Chim Chim, I'm coming to rescue you. I quickly laid down some blocks and made a bridge to where she was trapped. She must have left the base without bringing any supplies. Quick, come across here before the lava rises anymore. We ran back across to safety. Chim Chim, what were you doing out there? I was really worried about you.
After you told the shaman you wouldn't help, I couldn't wait around and do nothing. I was trying to go and find my captured monkey friends when I got trapped.
That was really brave of you. You know what? I'll help. I don't think I'm the monkey they're talking about, but if you want to fight Buff Tiger, I can fight too. That seemed to really cheer Chim Chim up. But before we could leave, we heard a squawk from near the lava. We went to take a look and saw an emu trapped on the other side. He needs some help. Don't worry, buddy, I've got you. I put some blocks down and made a bridge for the emu to get across the lava. He followed me across, and so I built some ladders for us to climb out of the hole. When we reached the top, I asked him what he was doing down there. Turns out he actually lived there, but had gotten trapped when the lava started rising. He explained that he heard us talking about Buff Tiger and knew something he thought might help. He said he had heard about a legendary ancient weapon made specifically to fight tigers. That sounds amazing! What is it and where do we find it? He wished us luck but told us he didn't know where it was, but said if we ran into any other animals, we should be sure to ask them if they know anything. After the emu had left, I was feeling more confident that we could do this. Suddenly, I felt a burst of energy and gained 2 more hearts. I even grew a little in size. All right, Chim Chim, we can figure this out. Let's head back to the base. On days 20 to 22, we got back to the base and saw it was surrounded by creepers. Get back, you mutated pig freaks. I quickly charged with my spear and made sure the creepers couldn't damage our base. After the creepers were gone, Chim Chim said she had something she wanted to talk to me about.
You know, I don't think you give yourself enough credit. You're actually much braver than you think. How do you do it?
Thanks, Chim. Maybe I am too hard on myself. When I get scared, there is one thing that always helps me. I always think of my hero. He's a big, banana-loving, necktie-wearing ape who isn't afraid of anything.
He sounds amazing. I think we should build a statue in his honor. That way we can always remember to be brave.
I thought that was a great idea, but before I headed off to get supplies, I finally went ahead and put some torches around the bottom of the tree to stop mobs from spawning there. Yeah, this may have been a little overdue.
Then I headed off to the woods to cut down some trees. I wanted the statue to be huge, so I was going to need a ton of wood. I also went out and found some sheep so I could use their wool. I built them a pen and then harvested some cocoa beans so I could dye the sheep brown. This will be the perfect color for the statue. Chim Chim and I then cleared out a space to put the statue. It's going to take a lot of time to build this, but I think it's going to look really cool when we're all done. Once we had finished clearing a space, we started on the first part of the statue. I was glad Chim Chim was there to help. Adventures are always better when they're with a friend. After a lot of hard work, we finally finished the first part. And hey, this is actually the first video I've ever made. If you like it so far, it would mean the world to me if you subscribed and turned on notifications. That way you'll be sure to catch my next adventure. On days 23 to 27, I was in my base when suddenly a zombie in full armor came around the corner. Whoa, where did you come from? Get back, you undead creep. I managed to beat him down with my spear and noticed he dropped some kind of special item. What's this? It looks like some kind of Swiss Army knife. I didn't know anything about this new item, so I decided to head to the desert and test it out. I saw some husks wandering around and gave it a swing. Whoa, this thing can set stuff on fire. There were some rattlesnakes nearby too, so I went and tested it out on them as well. Piece of cake. Then I went and tested it out on some sand and a cactus. It looks like this thing is just as good as a shovel or an axe. A tool this versatile is definitely going to help me in the future. With my test complete, I headed back home. When I arrived at the base, I saw Chim Chim talking to a couple of horses and a donkey. He explained that he heard this was a place safe from Buff Tiger and wanted to stay here too. The more the merrier, my friends. We'd be happy to have you. Our new friends are going to need a place to stay, so I cleared some space at the bottom of the tree and built them a small shelter to live in. That reminded me, I didn't want any more surprise guests climbing into my base, so I broke all of the vines off the trunk of my tree. I am a monkey after all. I definitely didn't need these vines. On days 28 to 32, I went and asked my new horse friend if he knew anything about the legendary weapon the emu had mentioned. He told me he didn't know what the weapon was, but had come across a group of anteaters in a distant forest who were collectors of interesting objects. How can I find these anteaters? I don't know if I can travel that far for that long. He told me that I should hop on his back and he could show me the way. He would get me there in no time. I threw a saddle on the horse's back and we took off into the distance. Chim Chim could keep an eye on things until I got back. After a while, we came to a bridge, but a snapping turtle was blocking the way. Uh-oh, he doesn't look friendly. Let me see if he'll let us pass. Hey there, do you mind letting us by?
Hey you, get out of here! This area is controlled by Buff Tiger. No monkeys allowed.
No monkeys allowed? We'll see about that. I gave him a hit with my spear, but that was a mistake. He was strong. I quickly ran back and hopped on my horse friend's back. Quick, let's jump across using that tree over there. There was a large tree in the middle of the gap, so we hopped on top of it and then jumped to the other side. See you around, slowpoke. We had gotten by, but this land was controlled by Buff Tiger? I'd have to keep an eye out for anything suspicious. On days 33 to 36, we found the group of anteaters hanging out in a forest clearing. Hey guys, I heard you may know something about a legendary item that could defeat Buff Tiger?
Are you looking for me?
Who is that? I looked to my side and standing on top of a tree was Buff Tiger.
So, you think some magical object can defeat me? You haven't even seen a fraction of my power. How about we settle this right here, right now?
With a roar, Buff Tiger hit me. There was no way I could take him on right now. The best thing I could do was get him to leave the area. I had an idea. Over here, you big brute. I quickly ran back toward the cliff.
Where do you think you're going?
When he got close, I hit him with my Swiss Army knife, which caused him to catch on fire.
What?
On fire, he had no choice but to jump into the river, which carried him away.
This isn't over. I will find you.
With Buff Tiger gone, I hurried back to the clearing and saw the anteater leader waiting for me.
We knew Buff Tiger was hunting monkeys, but it seems like he is attacking anyone who opposes him.
I'm sorry to hear it. Buff Tiger will be back though, and it's not safe here anymore. You and your family are welcome to come and live at my base.
Thank you, we would love that.
On days 37 to 40, I had arrived back at the base with our new anteater friends. While they checked out the new area, Chim Chim and I went to work building them their own wing of the base. We wanted to be sure they felt comfortable after having to flee from their homes. We soon finished and the anteaters moved into their new space. Once they were moved in, I talked to their leader and asked him if he knew anything about the legendary item.
I have heard of this item before, yes. I don't know what powers it possesses, but I know it can be found in the northern ice fields. The seals there should know more about it.
The ice fields, huh? Sounds cold for a monkey. I'll have to make sure I prepare myself for that journey. But before I could do that, Chim Chim and I got to work on the next part of the statue. Things were really starting to come along and I felt like maybe if I could finish the statue before I faced Buff Tiger, I could have the courage and bravery of my hero. But while we got a lot done, finishing it was a task for another day. From days 41 to 43, I headed to the mines to do some mining. I was hoping to find some diamonds to upgrade my gear. While I was headed there, one of the anteaters came running up to me from a nearby cave.
Hey, are you looking for diamonds?
I am actually. Do you know where to find them?
He explained that there were diamonds in the cave he had just come out of, but there was a cave centipede blocking the way. If I could kill the centipede, he'd let me have all the diamonds. You're scared of a little centipede? I can squish that, no problem. I headed over to the cave and peeked around the corner. The centipede was way bigger than I thought. No wonder the anteater was scared. I saw a stack of blocks I could climb up, so I climbed to the top and took out my bow. I can shoot him from up here where he can't reach me, no problem. I started shooting him with arrows, but he crawled up the wall and hit me. Uh-oh, he can climb walls too. His hits had poisoned me, which brought me down to half a heart. My knife's durability was also running out. If it broke, I was toast. Luckily, I was able to finish him off. Whew, that was way too close. With the centipede out of the way, I now noticed that there was a big stash of diamonds at the end of the tunnel. Awesome, now I'll finally be able to upgrade my tools to diamond. I quickly mined out all of the diamonds, and then I worked on crafting a diamond pickaxe, sword, axe, and shovel. I also had a few extras, so I made myself a diamond helmet. On days 44 to 49, I left the base to travel to the northern ice fields and find the seals the anteaters had told me about. Oh boy, it's freezing. I hope I can find these guys quickly. I don't know how long I can stay out in this. As I was climbing over some snow, I heard a sound coming from the other side. The seals must be over this hill. I jumped over the hill and was surprised to see a couple of polar bears who immediately started to attack me. I took out my new diamond sword and fought back. I'm much stronger now. You won't be able to take me down. After a few hits, the polar bears were down. Even I was surprised at how quickly I was able to defeat them. Maybe I could be the monkey of legend after all. I kept running across the ice fields when I saw someone getting attacked by a couple polar bears in the distance. As I got closer, I saw it was a huge orangutan fighting them off. By the time I had reached him, he had taken out both of the bears. He was really strong. Hey there, I didn't expect to see another monkey all the way out here. What brings you out this far? The orangutan didn't respond right away, but instead slowly looked me up and down.
It's going to get cold soon. We'll need to build a camp for the night.
Yeah, okay. The orangutan and I quickly worked together to build an igloo. He didn't say much while we worked, and I was starting to get an uneasy feeling about him. But maybe he was just suspicious of me too. I decided I would try and find out. I started up a fire in the igloo, and he surprised me by asking me a question first.
So, what are you doing out here?
I'm looking for the seals. I was told by the monkey shaman that I'm the monkey of legend, and there are rumors of a legendary weapon that can help me defeat Buff Tiger.
The shaman must have lost it. How could a small monkey like you be the monkey of legend? No. I spoke to the shaman and he told me it was my destiny to save the monkeys. It must be your job to help me find the item.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but maybe he was right. He was so strong and had taken down 2 polar bears with no weapons at all. I knew the shaman had the wrong monkey. Okay, you're probably right. I'll help you in your quest. I know we need to find the seals, but I don't know where they are.
They're living in a secret city not far from here. We'll go there in the morning.
We both settled down for the night. I couldn't believe I thought I was the monkey of legend. On days 50 to 53, we traveled across the ice fields and soon saw the entrance to the hidden seal village. But before we could get any closer, we ran into the snapping turtle I had seen near the anteater village. You again? How did you get all the way out here? The turtle didn't respond and attacked us. I charged and noticed the orangutan hesitated before joining the fight. But once he joined, we were able to defeat him easily. Thanks for the help. You had me worried for a second there. He didn't respond to that and we headed into the seal village. We soon found the king of the village and asked for his help. He explained to us that although the city was hidden, they too were afraid of Buff Tiger. When we asked him if he knew of the legendary item, he told us that it wasn't located here. Instead, he had a map to its location, which he shared with us. Thanks for sharing this with us. We'll find the item and save everyone. From days 54 to 57, we traveled back to my base and I saw that Chim Chim had found a lot more monkeys. I'm so glad we're able to help all these monkeys. Chim Chim and I got to work on expanding the base. As we worked, I told Chim Chim about everything that had happened. When I told her how the orangutan was actually the monkey of legend, she didn't believe me.
The shaman has never been wrong before. I don't know if I trust that orangutan. I believe in you, Zozo. Keep an eye out for anything suspicious.
While we were talking, the anteater I'd saved from the centipede showed up again.
Zozo, I need your help again. My little brother was playing in the jungle and got trapped in a jungle temple. Can you rescue him?
I didn't have a moment to spare. Jungle temples were full of traps that could hurt a little anteater. I ran into the jungle and soon found the temple. I could hear the little guy trapped inside. Don't worry, I'm coming for you. As I made my way through the temple, I carefully broke the traps and managed to reach him. And just like that, the little anteater was free. All right, buddy, there you go. The little anteater ran out and I decided to check the chest for any good loot. Whoa, check it out, diamonds. And what's this? A diamond destroyer? This will help me break a bunch of blocks at the same time and does major damage. Nice. On days 58 to 62, Chim Chim and I got to work on our hero statue. It was really starting to come along and I was happy with how it looked. Every time we finished more, I couldn't help but feel a little more brave. I guess that mattered a little less with the orangutan around though, but it was good for me anyway. Speaking of the orangutan, I hadn't seen him in a while. What could he be up to? I was heading back to the base when I saw it was surrounded by snow leopards. These are followers of Buff Tiger. How do they find the base? I ran up and started attacking all the leopards. How did you find us? Take this! There were so many of them, but they didn't stand a chance against my new weapon. I started to take them out one by one. I had the last leopard cornered when I heard one of the chests in my base opening. Someone was in my base. I quickly climbed up the tree as the last snow leopard ran away. When I reached the top, I saw the orangutan was stealing the legendary item map from my chest. He must have told Buff Tiger where my base was. Why are you doing this? You were the chosen one.
I'm sorry, Zozo, but I lied to you about being the Monkey of Legend. I needed you to trust me so you could lead me back to your base. Buff Tiger said he would kill my family if I didn't help him find you. I've seen how brave you are. You must be the Monkey of Legend.
You don't have to do this. Stay and help me. We can defeat Buff Tiger if we work together.
I can't lose my family. I have to bring this map to Buff Tiger and try to save them. I'm sorry.
And before I could stop him, he jumped over the edge of the treehouse and escaped into the woods. Wait a second. If he told them about my base, he must have told them about the hidden seal base too. From days 63 to 66, I ran across the land and into the ice fields to find the seal village, but it was too late. Oh no, the village is in ruins. Buff Tiger must have beaten me here. As I ran into the village, I could see that the village was destroyed. Then I saw the Seal King, and he was greatly wounded.
Zozo, when we told Buff Tiger we didn't have the map, he attacked. He forced us to tell us where the map led to. Hurry and go to the Badland Mines. He'll be going there to try and find the weapon first.
I'll go find it and I'll stop him. You have my word. Just then, the snow leopard from before jumped down and killed the Seal King. No, how could you? I pulled out my destroyer and quickly finished him off. I couldn't waste any more time. I had to hurry and get to the mines. From day 67 to 70, I traveled to the Badlands to locate the mines. As I was getting closer, I saw someone entering the mines. It was Buff Tiger. He was going to beat me to the treasure. I can't let him beat me again. As I got closer to the entrance, something jumped down from a nearby cliff. It was a giant rocky roller. Get out of my way, I'm coming in. The rocky roller took one look at me and charged. I took a swing, but he knocked me back a lot farther than I thought he would. I don't know if I can beat this guy. I kept trying to hit him, but he took down nearly all of my health. Just then, I saw someone coming over the hill. It was the orangutan. He punched the rocky roller and they started to fight. The rocky roller hit him several times, but the orangutan was able to hit him more. But before the orangutan could deliver the final blow, the rocky roller was able to escape. You're back.
I'm sorry for everything, Zozo. When I returned to Buff Tiger, he didn't release my family and tried to capture me too. I ran away and knew I had to come help you.
Boy, am I glad you showed up. Stay here and heal up. I'll see if I can still get to the item inside. On days 71 to 74, I snuck into the mines to see if I could tell where Buff Tiger had gone. I looked around and saw there were a bunch of lanterns down one of the hallways. Buff Tiger must have put these here. This should lead me right to him. I followed the lanterns until I came to a dead end, full of treasure, chests, and some cobwebs. This must be where the item is kept. I can't imagine it's still in here. I took a look in the chest. There was some good treasure, but no special item. Buff Tiger had beaten me to it again. What was I gonna do now? I had no idea where Buff Tiger's base was. I saw a tunnel leading out, which Buff Tiger must have used to escape. I made my way back out of the cave and met back up with the orangutan. Come on, let's head back to the base so we can help you heal and come up with a plan. On days 75 to 78, Chim Chim and I worked on a shelter for the orangutan. He was a big guy, so we needed to make sure he had a nice place to stay. Once we were finished, the orangutan called me over to him.
I'm sorry again for everything, Zozo. Here, I think these supplies will be useful for you.
He threw down a Heart of the Sea, shark teeth, and prismarine blocks. Wow, thank you. I know just what to do with these. I headed over to a crafting table and used the supplies to make myself a shield of the deep. Nothing is going to get through this. Next, I headed over to my farm to get some supplies. As I was harvesting my crops, the rocky roller came out of nowhere and attacked me again. You again? I'm ready for you this time. By using my new shield, I was able to block his attacks and hit him with my hammer. He was still tough, but with my new tools, I beat him easily this time. And stay down. After the fight, I felt some serious power coursing through me, and I turned into a giant silverback gorilla. Whoa, I'm huge now, and look, I have 20 hearts. I was so excited, I almost didn't notice the rocky roller had left a book behind. I picked it up and looked inside. It looks like these are orders from Buff Tiger. In the back of the book, it also had coordinates to the rocky roller's base. If I go there, I might be able to find out where Buff Tiger is keeping all the monkeys. I also noticed he had dropped a redstone torch. I better hang on to this. It could be helpful. On day 79 to 84, I used the book to travel to the Rocky Roller's base. I arrived at the coordinates and there was nothing there. There's nothing here, but these are the right coordinates. Did I miss something? I took a look around and saw there was a lever hiding behind some rocks. I pulled the lever and a secret door opened. Bingo, this must be it. After I entered the base, I heard someone walk up behind me. It was a lion. He must be an ally of Buff Tiger.
Hang on there. I'm not looking for a fight. I want to defeat Buff Tiger too.
Why would you want to do that? Aren't you cats in it together?
Not at all. In fact, tigers are one of our greatest enemies. Help me search this base and we can bring him down together.
He didn't look like he wanted to fight, so I agreed to work together. We both entered the base to have a look around. There wasn't a whole lot down here and it didn't seem like there was anything of use. Then I noticed some redstone markings on the wall. Wait a second, the Rocky Roller dropped a redstone torch. I wonder what happens if I put it here. I placed the redstone torch and the blocks moved, revealing a secret room. What could be in here? Inside the room there was a book. I opened it and saw there were some weird symbols inside. These are coordinates to Buff Tiger's base, but someone needs to decipher the code. I know someone who can help. Come on, let's get out of here. But as I started to leave the base, the lion hit the lever and closed the doors before I could get out. Hey, what's the big idea? Open the door.
I can't let you do that, monkey. It's true, I want to defeat Buff Tiger, but that's so I can be the Lion King. All monkeys should be serving me, not him.
We'll see about that. I took out my destroyer and shield and started fighting him. With my new strength, he didn't stand a chance. He got some hits in, but I was able to strike the fatal blow in no time. On days 85 to 89, I headed to the monkey shaman's hut. I knew he would be able to translate the coordinates. When I arrived, the shaman opened his door and walked out.
Zozo, is it really you? My, how you have grown since we last met.
I need your help. I found the coordinates to Buff Tiger's base, but it's in some kind of strange language. Can you read it?
Ah, that's because these are coordinates for a place not of this world, a different dimension entirely.
Not of this world? But he's a tiger. They live in this world.
He may look like a tiger now, but he's hiding a dark secret. Take this tiger pearl and build a portal. It will take you where you need to go.
I took the pearl and started heading back to the base. What did he mean, a dark secret? I guess I would find out soon enough. From days 90 to 94, I headed deep underground and found some obsidian and some copper. While I was down there, I also came across some diamonds. This is just what I needed. I can use this to finish making my armor. Once I had all of the supplies I needed, I headed up to the surface and crafted the rest of my diamond armor. Then I smelted all the copper and made some copper blocks. Then finally, I equipped the rest of my diamond armor. Now I'm ready for a fight. Then I headed outside and put together the special portal. I was all geared up to travel to Buff Tiger's base, but there were still a few more things I needed to finish first. From days 95 to 96, I grabbed Chim Chim and we worked on finishing the statue. I felt like I couldn't face Buff Tiger without finishing it first. This was a monkey I looked up to, and it felt like this was one of the final steps of my preparation. Soon, the statue was complete.
This looks amazing, Zozo. I think your monkey hero would be proud. I'll give you a minute to take it in.
I think so too. Thanks for all of your help, Chim. I couldn't have done it without you. Chim Chim headed back to the base and I took a long look at the finished statue. Suddenly, I heard a voice coming from the statue.
Zozo, I've been watching your progress. You have a big fight ahead of you, but you can do it. You're a braver monkey than I ever was. You are the monkey of legend.
Thank you. That means so much to me. I feel like I've finally gotten strong enough to be worthy of the title.
You were always worthy. Remember, it's not about how big you are on the outside, but how big you are on the inside. Good luck.
Tomorrow, I'm taking the fight to Buff Tiger's front door. On days 97 to 98, I took time to visit with all the animals who had joined our new home. Many of them were scared, but I assured them I would find their friends and families and bring them home. Secretly though, I was feeling nervous because I still hadn't gotten the legendary weapon. Finally, I was ready to light the portal, but as I walked up to it, Chim Chim jumped down in front of me. What's wrong, Chim?
I can't let you go in there alone. I want to help.
I know. I wish you could come with me, but if anything happens to me, everyone here is going to need a strong leader to help them move on. We can't risk losing you too. Chim Chim nodded and moved out of the way. Before I go through, is there anything else you need to say?
Yes, everyone who is watching the video should like it and subscribe. There are going to be so many more adventures, and we want everyone to be able to follow along.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Chim. Well, here goes nothing. I took a deep breath and threw the tiger pearl into the portal. On day 99, I suddenly appeared on the other side of the portal, standing in a dense jungle. I looked out over the treetops and could see a sprawling city before me. I made my way down the trees and into the city streets. Look at all of this. There's no way a tiger built this. He must have built this with all the monkeys he took prisoner. As I wandered through the city, I saw a sign pointing to the prison. That must be where the monkeys are. I made my way there and soon saw the large prison building. I climbed up the wall and ran into a snow leopard on top. I quickly finished him off and then jumped into the prison yard below. I could see all the monkeys in cages. Don't worry everyone, I'll break you out. I kept fighting the guards until they were all destroyed. Then I quickly started breaking all the cages. Go free everyone, you need to all leave before Buff Tiger shows up. As I broke the rest of the cages, all I could think about was finding the legendary weapon. I had to find it before I faced Buff Tiger, but at least now all the monkeys were free. On day 100, I saw a sign pointing to the palace. That must be Buff Tiger's palace. I'll bet he keeps the legendary item in there. I made my way into the palace and took out a couple of guards. The place was nearly empty. Buff Tiger must be out capturing more monkeys. I then made my way into the basement where I saw a banana katana floating over a pedestal. Could that be what I think it is? Legendary banana katana, infused with potassium. This is it! I heard a tiger growl outside. Buff Tiger, you must be back. I walked outside and saw Buff Tiger was waiting for me, with an ocelot by his side. Buff Tiger, this ends today. I have the ultimate weapon.
Huh, you really think that rusty artifact can do anything to me? Did you even look at its durability?
I looked closer and saw that he was right. The weapon was nearly destroyed. But this was a weapon of legend, wasn't it? Surely it was stronger than it looked.
Get him.
The ocelot charged. I swung the banana katana and killed the ocelot in one hit, but the weapon broke.
Haha, you see what happens when you believe in fairy tales? I was going to let you work for me, but I think I will just end you instead.
Suddenly, everything began to shake, and Buff Tiger transformed into an even stronger tiger. This must have been the dark secret the shaman was talking about. How am I going to defeat him? I'm not strong enough. Suddenly, I remembered the words of my hero. It's not about how big you are on the outside, it's how big you are on the inside. He was right. The true power had been in me all along. I was ready. Alright, Buff Tiger, let's dance. We charged at each other and exchanged blows. He was incredibly strong, but by using my shield and special powers, I was able to stay in the fight.
Why won't you die, you scum?
You messed with the wrong monkey. I could feel myself getting stronger with every hit I landed. I was winning. I'm sending you into another dimension, one where you can't come back. With a final strike, Buff Tiger was finally defeated. After Buff Tiger had disappeared, I climbed the hill and saw some monkeys celebrating. Finally, and I'll go home.
On day 1, I spawned in as Vegeta. Tremble before the prince of all Saiyans. What? Only 5 hearts? That doesn't make sense. Isn't he supposed to be super powerful? I guess I'm gonna have to do some serious training if I want to live up to the real Vegeta's reputation. Where's an old martial master when you need him? Is that one over there? He looks like he might know some wisdom. It's me, Zozo. I'm looking for someone to train me. Are you worthy to train a Saiyan?
No, I am not worthy to train a Saiyan, but I am worthy to capture one and make him fight to his doom.
This is no martial arts master. He's a wicked wizard, and he's attacking me with magic.
You're mine, Zozo. I've captured warriors far more capable than you.
Not today, wizard. Nowhere to run. I've got to jump off this cliff to get away. Hopefully I can fly. Vegeta can fly in the show, so why not? Here goes everything. Uh-oh, I can't fly yet. Ah, I'm falling. I guess Vegeta doesn't take fall damage. Must be the ability I start with. It'll probably upgrade to flying later. That wizard said something about capturing Saiyans. Maybe he has some of my friends, or even Goku. But Goku isn't Vegeta's friend. He's more like a rival. Every tough guy needs a good rival, and I guess for now I'll have to settle for that wizard guy. I'll rest at the bottom of this cliff until morning. On day 2, I start punching trees and rocks, and get the supplies to make my wooden pickaxe. I think I'll build my base somewhere away from this cliff, since I don't want to run into the wizard again before I've gotten stronger. I'll need wide open spaces to fire my ki blast, so this rocky desert will do nicely. There are some nasty coyotes here, but I'm a Saiyan. I can beat a few coyotes barehanded. Confusing me for just another helpless villager, the coyotes attacked, but I was ready. It looks like I have some buffs to my punching damage, probably from being a martial artist. That'll come in handy. Get out of here, coyotes. This is my turf.
Okay, we're going. You don't need to be such a jerk about it.
You should have known who you were messing with. With my pickaxe, I start mining for sandstone. That will be the main material that I use when making my base, at least until I can go underground and get some more durable blocks. There are some cactus blocks here too, but I don't have any armor or weapons, so I'm just gonna leave them alone for now. If I decide later that I want green dye, then I'll be sure to start farming those cactus blocks. I end the day by building a fence around where I want the base to be, and a tiny tent to sleep in. When it's done, this will be the perfect gym to train as a Super Saiyan warrior. On day 3, I travel to a nearby forest to find some more wood for my fences. If there's a river I can redirect into the desert, that'll also be a good future project.
Of course, I wouldn't be Vegeta if I wasn't also looking for a fight. Saiyans get stronger the more they battle tough enemies after all. That giant tarantula should make for a worthy opponent. Spiders give me the creeps, but Vegeta isn't afraid of anything. Let's go, tarantula. I started punching and doing some damage, but I was also losing too many hearts too quickly. Oh no, he's biting me. Gotta run. Didn't think a spider would be giving me so much trouble. But is it really fair that he has 6 more arms than me? While I was escaping from the tarantula, I found that there was an entire monkey caught in its web. Monkeys are like distant cousins to Saiyans, so of course I have to help him. I punch away the webs and set that monkey free. Be free, monkey. Oh, I guess he has something to say. What's up, new monkey friend?
Thank you for releasing me. My name is Stu, and I was chased here by an evil wizard.
I'm Zozo. I've seen that wizard too. Why was he after you?
He thought I was a Saiyan, so he tried to kidnap me.
Well, you're safe now. Why don't you come back to my base with me?
Sure, but only if you've got bananas. Stu the monkey is bananas about bananas.
On days 4 to 5, I made the fence surrounding my base bigger in order to make space to build a house for Stu. Full of bananas, obviously.
Yeah, baby. Stu loves bananas.
That should keep him entertained, while the real Saiyan focuses on important things, like getting so strong that I can totally send that wizard flying into space when I next see him. The problem is, a bigger base meant that I was much closer to the cactus blocks, and the cactoids were starting to become aggressive. And I don't have enough buckets of water to tame them off. Back off, you greedy cactoids! The fence can keep the little ones out, but when night comes, the local cactyrant is going to transform and attack me. Those guys are no joke, and they attack at night when the sun can't make me stronger. Or is it just Goku that powers up with the sun? Either way, those creepy cactus creatures have the advantage, unless I take my arsenal up a notch. I have until night falls to craft a weapon from the materials I've mined. Nobody wants to fight a cactyrant barehanded after all, damage buffs or not. There's plenty of stone around, so I use some stone blocks and a stick to make a stone sword and some tools. I wait until it gets dark, and then I go out and face the cactyrant. I defeat him using my new weapon. He drops boots of swiftness. Wow, that's unexpected. Now I can run around at high speeds with the best of them. Bet that evil wizard would never see this coming. Woohoo! If only I knew where I was going. On days 6 to 8, I'm deep in the desert gathering up sand to craft some pockets of sand. Vegeta doesn't always fight fair, so I want to be able to throw sand at my enemies, and I might need to, because here comes that evil wizard from earlier, and it looks like he's riding on a go-kart.
There you are, Saiyan. This time you won't get away.
You'll never capture the Prince of Saiyans. But the scary thing is, he actually might. No matter how fast I try to run with my boots of swiftness, it's like he's always catching up to me.
I told you there'd be no escape this time.
That vehicle is really fast, so I have to lead him to the cactus patch where he has to drive more carefully.
You think some puny cactuses will stop me, Zozo?
The plural is cacti, actually, Dark Wizard. Maybe you need to go back to school.
I'm evil. I don't have to get things right. I do things wrong on purpose.
He throws a spell at me from long range, and now I'm taking damage. I hide behind a tall cactus, then I throw a pocket of sand at him. Yes, it looks like that threw off his steering and made him stop the go-kart.
Well, I'm not going to drive when I can't see. That's just basic road safety.
The effect will wear off soon, so I'm going to get out of here. Thank goodness he doesn't know about my base. On days 9 to 10, I still don't know why that wizard wants to capture me. How can I be the Prince of all Saiyans when I'm afraid to fight the first guy I met in the world? Stu thinks I'm being too down on myself.
Don't worry, Zozo. You're doing a lot better than I could. You saved me from that spider, and I'm sure you'll save us both from that wizard too.
Well, maybe, but I think I should build a statue to get my mind off of things.
Get your mind off of things like being afraid you won't defeat the Dark Wizard forever and all time?
You're not helping me out, Stu.
Sorry. Stu does believe in you, though.
I think I'll build a statue of Vegeta's father, King Vegeta. That way I can show everyone who comes to my base how powerful the Saiyan people once were. It might encourage me too, who knows? But this won't be just any statue. The King of Saiyans needs a huge statue made out of strong material. I better start mining stone and gathering all the materials in my base. And who knows, maybe all this mining will help make me stronger too. It's good exercise. I'm also going to get a source of water in the base by redirecting a nearby river. My Saiyan fists are super strong, so these blocks are like nothing to me. I also made myself a bigger place to live and constructed a house out of sandstone. And now that I have more water in the base, I can start taming the nearby cactoids with buckets of it. You nerds work for me now. On days 11 to 12, a Viking villager arrived outside my base with a story to tell. He had apparently traveled a long way seeking my base.
You must be the Saiyan I've heard about. I am known as Charles, and my people are the Vikings. Days ago, I escaped from a terrible place where the Dark Wizard Baraka is making all the greatest warriors in the land fight until only one remains. He continues to gather the mightiest fighters he can find and pit them against each other.
Why is he doing that?
Who knows? Before it was my turn to fight, I ran away as fast as I could. Now I have come to you with a warning. Baraka will stop at nothing to capture you. With a true Saiyan in his collection, he'd be able to make the battles even more violent.
So that's where all the strong people are hiding? Interesting.
It's strange. There was another one like you there, except he wore robes of orange.
Wait, Goku is there? But he's my tough guy rival. No one gets to defeat him until I defeat him.
I guess you had better start training then.
For now, I'll still avoid getting captured, but it sounds like the wizard is holding a tournament for powerful fighters. I better hope I can qualify. In the meantime, how about we get you some water, Charles? You look exhausted after all that.
Thank you, Zozo. It seems you truly are the hero people say you are.
On days 13 to 15, I train non-stop to make myself even stronger, because that is what a Z-fighter does when push comes to shove. Cutting down some of the cactuses is great training for swordsmanship. I can't just rely on my fists if I want to win this thing. And I also can't let my opponent look down on the Prince of Saiyans, so I go back to that giant tarantula and challenge it to a rematch. This time, I'm armed and ready. Bring it on, you eight-legged freak. I start the fight by throwing a sand pocket, and then I run in, swinging my sword. I'm doing a lot more damage now, and my ki blast is also very helpful. Not so tough now, are you, Spidey? It tries to trap me in a web, but my sword can cut straight through like it's no problem. The bigger they come, the harder they fall. This spider is toast. Whoa, I feel like my power level is rising. This is gonna be good. I've become Super Saiyan, with 15 hearts and way stronger attacks. Tremble before me. I'm the legend that all of my enemies of the Saiyans fear. I know that Vegeta can still get a lot stronger than this, but the change in appearance shows I've made some real progress towards my goal. I'm going to prove that I'm the strongest warrior in the world. Even Goku won't be able to defeat me when I'm fully leveled up. On days 16 to 19, I dig deep into the mine in search of materials. If I can get my hands on some metal, I'll be able to have better gear to match my brand new Super Saiyan form. It feels good to be a legend. The way forward is infested with skeletons, so it looks like I'll have to take them down first. Out of my way, skeletons. You're all just jealous that you don't have muscles like Vegeta. I guess that really struck a nerve with the leader of the skeleton horde.
You think you can come in here and make fun of us, Zozo? We're working for the Dark Wizard, and he sent us here to capture you.
Well, tell him he should have sent better. Or don't, because I'm sending you back to oblivion. The skeletons that charged me directly were easy enough to deal with, but those archers were always a pain. It's a good thing that I have Ki Blast to return fire. No bones about it. You guys are done for. I take out the ones at close range and then mop up the rest. But it looks like their leader got away. He's probably going to tell the Dark Wizard that I'm a force to be reckoned with.
You haven't seen the last of me, Zozo. I'll be back.
Now it's time to give my armor an upgrade to full iron. While I'm at it, I'll craft an iron sword and iron pickaxe too. Iron everything. Oh, the irony. On days 20 to 22, I was surprised to see Charles the Viking return to the base. What's going on?
Be careful, Zozo. Baraka somehow found out where I was, and now he's followed me here to the base.
Get inside. I'll handle this. Charles went inside the base. I went to go face the Dark Wizard Baraka alone. He was waiting just outside. I'm ready for you this time, Dark Wizard. Show me what you've got.
Foolish Saiyan. You are light years away from being able to defeat me.
We'll see about that. I threw a sand pocket at Baraka to blind him, then followed up with a Ki Blast shot. To my surprise, he wasn't there. He was right behind me instead.
You've met the Viking, so you know why I'm here. You know about the battle to find out who's the strongest fighter in the world.
I swung my iron sword at him, but he avoided it.
Will you accept my challenge?
Oh, so now you're giving me the choice.
It's because you've grown a bit stronger, Zozo. If I fought you now, I couldn't go easy on you.
Is that right? I'm not afraid. Bring it on. I threw another pocket of sand at the Dark Wizard, and this time he was blinded. I followed up with a few powerful strikes from my sword. Yeah, I really got him.
That's enough. Don't make me destroy you, Saiyan.
The wizard summoned an explosive block of TNT. I ran for cover as it exploded. When I looked back over, he was gone. Was he really holding back, or just afraid of what the Prince of Saiyans could do? Either way, I would happily take him on again and find out. On days 23 to 26, I was finally able to start farming the cactoids and cactyrants for materials. And this is the fruit of my labor. No, not the prickly pears, even though they did drop a lot of those. Using the thorns that the cactyrant dropped, and with a little bit of crafting, I can make a thorn shooter. Looks like building a training center in the middle of the desert has its perks. This new thorn shooter will be my ranged weapon of choice. I don't know what kind of totally crazy warriors I'll be facing when and if I take the Dark Wizard up on his challenge, but it'll be good to have some variety in my attack options.
Stu thinks that thorn shooter is really cool. I'm impressed.
Thanks, Stu. Let's go test out this weapon in the desert. Who knows? Maybe we'll even find some strong enemies to defeat. Me and Stu headed out to the desert and made a few targets out of sandstone. They'd be a perfect way to focus my shooting skills. Bam! Bam! Look at those targets go down. This thorn shooter is so powerful.
Hey, can Stu try that thorn shooter? I've got a score to settle with another monkey back in the forest.
Maybe I should keep it for now, Stu. I feel like things are about to get even crazier, and if you'd like to find more of my videos, you should like, subscribe, and type ZOZO in the search bar. It never fails. On days 27 to 31, I start to add some of the more durable material to the statue of King Vegeta. I want to make sure his armor is absolutely perfect. For the blue parts of the armor, I've got to get my hands on some diamonds. But that's a really rare material, so it looks like it's time to go underground. Stu, hold down the fort while I'm away.
You can count on Stu. It's not like I'll monkey around while you're away.
I venture down into the underground, farther than I've ever gone before, until I am greeted by the bright light of orange lava. Somewhere in these lava caves, I should be able to find a vein of diamond. It looks like a couple of magma cubes don't appreciate me trespassing down here. If the cactus blocks damage me when I touch them, there's no way these things don't. The last thing I want is to touch any kind of magma in a place like this. Gotta put my thorn shooter skills to the test and take them out at a distance. Magma cubes always split into smaller magma cubes when they take hits, so I won't keep moving until they are completely gone. My key blast area attack helps with that. Just past the area where I thought the magma cubes... Wait, where are the diamonds? Huh? No diamonds down here. Well, then I guess I'm gonna need to find another way to get the blue for the King Vegeta statue's armor. Wait, I have a plan. If I mix sand, gravel, and some blue dye together, I can make blue concrete blocks. That'll do just fine for now. On days 32 to 35, I felt tired from all the farming and training I did, so I couldn't access my Super Saiyan form. I'll have to rest soon, but for now, I received another visit from my old nemesis, the skeleton that ran away from me in the mines. Still working for the Dark Wizard, I see.
You're gonna get it now, Zozo. I brought the Desert Lord with me, and he doesn't take too kindly to some Saiyan wannabe building bases in his desert.
Well, too bad. I am the Prince of Saiyans, and I don't take orders from the likes of you guys.
Then I guess we'll have to fight you.
The Desert Lord ran at me. I won't lie, he was big, and I felt a little intimidated. Thankfully, I didn't have to fight him with my sword. I was prepared for a battle, and my thorn shooter had full ammunition. Eat my thorns, Desert Lord.
No way! You've got a thorn shooter. No fair. Let's mosey on out of here.
Cowards! The skeleton and the Desert Lord ran away. Hopefully they won't be back again. It looks like some of the other mobs have returned as well. The gang of coyotes are back. Didn't I already teach you guys a lesson?
We know, Zozo, you're very strong, but that's why we need your help.
You coyotes need my help?
Yes, our friend the tribal gremlin was taken by the Dark Wizard's second in command, the champion Colossus. He's holding him in his fortress until the Dark Wizard wants him to fight.
He took some gremlin before he got to me? I guess I'm going to have to see this for myself. Your friend is as good as rescued. On days 36 to 39, I set off to go save the tribal gremlin from the champion Colossus. Those coyotes are going to owe me one. Whoa, is that the champion Colossus's base up there on that hill? I really need to start expanding my base if I want it to look like that. He had a pair of iron golems guarding the gate, and there were gargoyles on the rooftop. I don't know what I was expecting from the Dark Wizard's henchmen, but this guy must be really serious. I can't just fight my way in there. I'd be totally outnumbered. I'm going to need a solid plan if I want to get in there and save the coyote's friend. I made my way around the entire mountain, searching for any less guarded areas that I can sneak into. On the far side of the fortress is a tunnel, but I'll still need to avoid those gargoyles that are flying around on patrol. I guess I'll have to use a frontiersman's cap to engage stealth mode. Sorry, raccoons, your sacrifice will not be soon forgotten. I'll need your tails to make the cap, and if I can use this to free the tribal gremlin, it'll all be worth it. But what if something even scarier is waiting for me down in the tunnel? Wait, I said earlier Vegeta isn't afraid of anything. I need to be courageous. The tribal gremlin and all the coyotes depend on me. Tomorrow, it's go time. On days 40 to 43, I'm sneaking through the fortress and avoiding detection from the mobs that the champion Colossus has been using to guard this place. I'm still not scared, obviously, but if they know I'm here, they might suspect the tribal gremlin of planning an escape and do something to hurt him. The coyotes would never let me live that one down. Using the thorn shooter, I can pick the mobs off from a distance without them ever knowing I was there. As long as I'm doing it one by one, of course. First, I take out a couple gargoyles. Then, I finish off the iron golem, guarding the entrance to the fortress's dungeon. I've got to be careful though, because even though these guards are nothing to worry about, the champion Colossus is somewhere in this place, and he has to be almost as strong as the Dark Wizard. After a whole lot of sneaking about, I find my way to the tribal gremlin cell. Hey, gremlin, up and at them! The coyotes sent me here to rescue you.
Oh, good. I was getting tired of waiting for a good fight. Let's get out of here.
You say that like you could have left at any time.
I've never slept in a fortress before. It was kinda cool, honestly.
Well, I'm building the ultimate training gym out in the desert. If you need a better place to crash, you should stay at my base. The tribal gremlin seems sure of himself. Either way, we make tracks and find our way back to the coyotes.
Thanks, Zozo.
On days 44 to 49, I continue crafting more blue concrete for the statue of King Vegeta. He is going to look so regal. It'll be the centerpiece of my base when it's finally finished, but a job this big requires the help of many friends. I had Stu gather fur from the forest that I could use to line the king statue's tail.
Stu can get you all the fur you need. Just don't ask whose it is.
Charles, on the other hand, went to the ocean for some lapis lazuli stone. That way I had 2 shades of blue to work with for the armor.
Blue is my favorite color. Vikings love the sea after all, and I'm no exception.
While everyone else is gathering materials for the statue, the tribal gremlin and the coyotes are building a sandstone wall around the perimeter of the base.
Does this look good, Zozo? Don't worry, guys. I think it looks great, no matter what anyone says.
I've got a few larger rooms for training and keeping spare weapons, and I also reused some of the materials from my fences to build a pen for the tamed cactoids. Stu also came back from his last trip with something I'd never seen before.
Hey, Zozo.
What is it, Stu?
I found a bunch of banana blocks in the forest and thought we could use them to make even more bananas.
This is your wildest idea yet, Stu. But I guess having enough bananas to go around never hurt anybody.
That's the spirit. Bananas to all, and to all a banana.
On days 50 to 53, the Dark Wizard finally reared his ugly head. And he wasn't alone. By his side were all of the henchmen I'd come to know and hate. The skeleton leader.
I told you I'd be back. And now, I'm back. Again.
The Desert Lord. He doesn't say much. And most terrifying of all, the champion Colossus. He's probably pretty upset after I managed to sneak into his fortress and save the tribal gremlin.
I'm pretty upset that you managed to sneak into my fortress and save the tribal gremlin.
Told ya.
The time for your reckoning has come, Super Saiyan Zozo. I may have offered you a choice before, but now you have stolen 2 of my fighters away. That is unforgivable.
Well, have you thought that maybe those guys didn't want to be taken prisoner?
Intriguing. Now perish.
I felt my power rising, and once again, I turned back into my Super Saiyan form, ready for the fight. The Dark Wizard's forces attacked the base. Everyone did their best to repel the attack, but the champion Colossus was simply unstoppable. I couldn't worry about him now, because Skeleton and Desert Lord had closed into melee range and were looking to take me down.
Yeah, no match for us this time, Zozo.
I drew my iron sword and took out the Desert Lord without much difficulty. The skeleton was a lot tougher, but even he couldn't withstand the power of a Super Saiyan. Speaking of Super Saiyan, I felt my power level grow once again as I buffed up to Super Saiyan Blue. I've got 30 hearts and I can fly now. How do you like me now? I was so excited that I almost didn't notice that the Dark Wizard and the Champion Colossus were retreating, and they had taken Charles with them. Charles, no! On days 54 to 57, myself and the other NPCs in the base did our best to repair the walls and training room. Nothing could repair the loss of Charles the Viking though. We had to get our friend back. He didn't deserve to fight other warriors until the end, and he definitely didn't deserve to fight Goku before I got to. I went to the tribal gremlin, half wondering how he didn't get captured when he had already gotten taken beforehand. How can we get Charles back?
It's simple. We go and save him because we want to, and we succeed because we believe we can.
That doesn't sound like a real plan.
The true warrior does not need plans, only the will to triumph.
Okay, look, TG, I just need to know if you have any idea where this Tournament of Champions is being held.
Fine. The truest warriors know that there is a Colosseum deep in the Nether, where only the mightiest fighters have gone. I think Baraka has probably chosen that place as the location of his tournament.
Nether Colosseum. Got it. How do I get there?
The only functioning portal to the Nether in this world was inside of the Champion Colossus's fortress. After you broke in, they most likely destroyed it so you couldn't follow them.
Well, there has to be a second portal. Otherwise, how could they get back to the Nether with Charles?
Think of it this way, Zozo. You could scour the entire world for that second portal, or you could be a true warrior and build one yourself.
Well, I guess I do want to be a true warrior.
building a nether portal it is. On days 58 to 62, I finally found an underground cavern with some diamond veins. Jackpot! I know that lava caves can be dangerous, but they're perfect for finding diamonds and also the obsidian I need to make the outside of the portal. But of course, diamonds come first. I'll need a diamond pickaxe to mine those obsidian blocks, and full diamond gear wouldn't hurt either. In addition to the magma cubes from last time, there were a few other mobs deep inside the lava caves, like these fire elementals that really meant to do me harm. But now that I'm a Super Saiyan 2nd grade, my buffs to melee attacks without a weapon are through the roof. I can punch cactuses bare hand, magma cubes barehanded, and now even the fire elementals can be defeated with just punches. After I dealt with those mobs, I got back to mining, and before too long, I had all the diamond ore that I needed to make myself a diamond pickaxe. And since I'm here, I think a newly upgraded Super Saiyan deserves some super cool diamond armor and weapons to match. That's right, I'm now decked out in full diamond armor, and a diamond sword too. Next, I rerouted some of the water in my base into the lava caves, creating a field of obsidian blocks ripe for mining. I'll be ready to make that nether portal in no time. But there are a few last things I need to do before I can start my quest to finally defeat the Dark Wizard. On days 63 to 66, I take a break from building my portal to continue work on the statue of King Vegeta. Wow, it really is starting to look like him. I wonder what the real King Vegeta would say if he were to see us now.
This is King Vegeta saying, subscribe to Zozo for more cool adventures like this. For the sake of all Saiyans, you should hit the red button and then the bell.
On days 67 to 70, it's about time I went to the nether and settled this. I craft a flint and steel out of materials I found in the caves. Then, I gathered my obsidian blocks and arranged them into the shape of a nether portal. I used the flint and steel to light the obsidian, and boom! The nether awaits. Not too far from the other side of the portal was a giant coliseum over a huge lake of lava. Of course, it had to be close, since a Baraka was kidnapping warriors from nearby. But I never would have found it if I wasn't in the nether. I guess me and the tribal gremlin are even now, since he gave me the hint about this place. Don't worry, Charles, I'm on my way. I made my way toward the Colosseum and found that it was guarded by a pair of zombie Spartans. No doubt the undead remains of warriors that had faced their demise in the Dark Wizard's arena. But they weren't going to stop me. Thorn Shooter, go! Blam, blam, blam! With a few whacks of my diamond sword, I knocked them down for good. On days 71 to 74, I stepped into the Colosseum, only to be surrounded by a cheering crowd of skeletons in the stands. The arena itself was empty, except for another fighter who was standing not so far away from me. He looked really tough, too.
Are you my next opponent?
I'm Zozo, and I've come to rescue my friend Charles the Viking.
I don't know who that is, but I have heard of you, Zozo. Long have I dreamed of fighting a Saiyan warrior.
There's no talking you out of this, huh?
Of course not. I am willing to fight any worthy opponent until the end, and that goes for you too.
The Aztec warrior ran towards me and attacked. He was strong, so I took some damage. I had to play this smart, so I flew into the air and shot him with the thorn shooter a couple of times. Then I landed behind him and hit him with a punch. I drew my diamond sword, and the two of us faced off.
You fight as well as the legends of your people suggest, Zozo.
I don't understand. Isn't Goku here? If you wanted to fight a Saiyan, why don't you fight him?
There is no Goku here. I would have remembered facing another Super Saiyan before you.
But Charles said there was a guy in an orange robe.
I did face such an adversary, but he was no Saiyan. If he was, I probably would have been defeated, like I have been defeated now.
And with that, the Aztec warrior fell. No more time for arena battles. I had to go find Charles. On days 75 to 78, I went to the barracks below the Colosseum and found Charles down there among the prisoners.
Zozo, thank goodness. I knew you'd come to rescue me.
Let's go home, Charles. I've done my share of fighting in this arena, and I say we don't give the Dark Wizard any more satisfaction. We ran backwards towards the arena, but as misfortune would have it, there was an ambush waiting for us. The champion Colossus stood ready to take us on. Well, take me on anyway. Did you think I was gonna have Charles fight this guy? Get behind me, Charles. It's time for Super Saiyan Blue Zozo to show the champion Colossus who the strongest fighter in the world is.
Strongest fighter in the world? Well, that would be me. This isn't the first tournament that the Dark Wizard of Baraka has held. I was the winner of the last one, and he let me go in return for becoming his eternal servant.
That's a sad story, but you're no match for me. I'm stronger than any warrior here. You can't beat me.
We shall see. On guard, Zozo the Saiyan.
The champion Colossus was definitely the strongest enemy I had fought up until this point, but there was no way I'd let him beat me. Too much was on the line. I reached for another pocket of sand, but I was out. Oh no! The champion Colossus hit me hard and sent me flying. Literally flying, because I can fly.
Is that all you've got, Zozo?
Leave Zozo alone, you big jerk!
Charles rushed in for a surprise attack, but it was all in vain. The champion Colossus hit him once, and he was struck down on the spot. Charles! I wouldn't let Charles throw his life away for nothing. I hit the champion Colossus with my diamond sword over and over until finally he collapsed. He was defeated.
Good job, Zozo. You avenged me.
Charles, you're gonna be fine.
I was destined for Valhalla. The moment I was captured. You are a true warrior. It's always been you. Take care of yourself, Zozo.
And with that, Charles was gone. I made my way out of the arena and back towards my nether portal. On day 79 to 84, I was still in the nether when I heard the wicked laughter of the dark wizard Abraka echo behind me.
I finally done it!
What is it now? I turned and saw the dark wizard had grown to a massive size, and he was brimming with power. Holy moly, what happened to you? He cruelly stared down at me like I was an ant he was about to step on.
Now that all the greatest fighters in the world have perished in my arena, I, Dark Wizard Abraka, have been able to absorb their martial arts and become master of magic and might. I am now the perfect being.
You're not perfect. You're not even close. You just stole the strength of a bunch of other people. You don't deserve to have their power, especially if you had to destroy them for it.
It is not for you to decide what I deserve. I have become a true warrior, and that means that all I need now is the will to triumph. Compared to that, what do you have, Saiyan, with that meager power you've gathered?
Maybe I'll never be the strongest, but at least I know who I am. I'm Zozo, a Super Saiyan, a Z-Fighter, and a truer warrior than you'll ever be.
You'll be nothing once I've destroyed you for good.
He stepped forward with the stolen power of all the fallen warriors. I knew I couldn't fight him just yet, so I turned and ran through my nether portal. As soon as I got to the other side, I used my diamond sword to break the portal, trapping the dark wizard in the netherworld. That should hold him for now. On days 85 to 89, I told the others at the base that Charles didn't make it back. They understood what it meant. He was in Valhalla and at peace. What mattered now was making sure that Abraka paid dearly for all the warriors he had sacrificed to gain his dark power.
Hey Zozo, Stu knows how bad you must feel about the rescue mission, so Stu decided to cheer you up by giving you a powerful new weapon. This will definitely help you defeat the Dark Wizard.
Stu gave me a banana bazooka, which was many times more powerful than my thorn shooter. This would be my new ranged weapon. Thanks, Stu.
Like Stu always says, bananas make everything better.
Later on, I completed the statue of King Vegeta, finally adding the diamond blocks he deserved to his armor. Nice! I had a feeling that the Dark Wizard would be on his way soon, so I went to seek the advice of the tribal gremlin. TG, I need your help.
The true warrior has finally arrived.
What?
I'm speaking about you, Zozo. You went down to that Colosseum and fought and returned. That means that you are now the strongest fighter in the world. You are the champion who must set things right.
What can I do? Abraka still has so much power.
You have power too. You just need to awaken it. There is a great waterfall behind the high cliffs. If you train there, you will be able to unlock your full potential.
On days 90 to 94, I followed the tribal gremlin's advice and sought out the great waterfall. The cliffs were really steep, so I had to use my flying abilities to climb up them. It's a good thing I still don't take any damage when I fall. Thinking back, this was the place I started my journey almost 100 days ago. It was remarkable to think how much I'd done in all that time. I had made friends, won battles, and even traveled to a whole different dimension. It was crazy. There were many waterfalls around this area, but somehow my spirit could tell which one would actually unlock my full potential. I trained my skills with both my sword and my punches, and I could feel myself growing stronger by the day. This is it. I'm going to become the true warrior I was always meant to be. At one point, a few giant lizards attacked me and tried to interrupt my training, but I saw this as another test of my power, and I fought them all off. The banana bazooka that Stu gave me was an excellent weapon for dealing with enemies at a distance. Of course, my melee attacks worked just as well. I will be the one who defeats the Dark Wizard. Me, Zozo, I've got this. When I finally reached the last day of training, I knew that I was the most powerful that I had ever been. A magical halo appeared in my inventory when it was over, probably to show that I had achieved my potential. On days 95 to 97, I was at the base when the coyotes told me that they had found another portal to the Nether, deep in an emerald cave across the desert. It must have been the same portal that the Dark Wizard used to take Charles back to the Nether when the one in the fortress of the Colossus was destroyed. Without a doubt, the Dark Wizard would be using that portal to re-enter the world and wreak havoc. I wasn't about to let that happen though, and prepared to meet him there and settle our score. But first, I had to enchant my gear and put the finishing touches on my base. Using the diamonds and obsidian from the lava caves, I crafted a few enchanted books and gave my diamond armor the Thorns enchantment. It would sacrifice durability, but in exchange, those who hit me would suffer damage. By now, I had enough green dye from the cactus blocks that I was able to make a green carpet across all the floors of the inside of the building. There were now enough bananas and prickly pears to feed an entire village, and with the help of the tribal gremlin, I was able to plant a lovely garden in the shadow of the King Vegeta statue. This place was now the perfect gym for martial artists and warriors everywhere to come and train, and I'd make sure that the world would be safe enough for them to do so. On day 98, I got some last-minute training in with the tribal gremlin. As a fellow warrior, I respected everything he had done for me until now. I promise when I return, nobody will have to worry about the Dark Wizard ever again. Please cheer for me in the comments and let me know what character you want to see me play as next. Tomorrow would be the test of whether or not I was a true warrior, so I spent the rest of the day getting ready. It was almost time for the final battle. On day 99, I was in the Emerald Cave, standing in front of the Nether portal, when the Dark Wizard finally stepped through.
Zozo, this is a surprise. You ran from me last time.
Never again. I'm going to stop you right here. If you don't want to fight, then go back to the Nether and leave us alone.
What fun would that be? I need to be on this side of the portal, where weaklings like you live.
That's where you're wrong, Abraka. I'm no weakling. I'm a true warrior, and I use my power to protect people. You will go no further. I fired the banana bazooka a few times to slow the Dark Wizard down. As he got closer, I drew my sword and attacked.
You think you could beat me in that form? Pathetic Saiyan.
His attacks were pretty strong, but my thorn enchantment did damage back to him.
Oh, clever trick, but it won't be enough.
Maybe you're right, Dark Wizard. But then again, this isn't even my final form. I started up the halo and allowed the power of my potential to flow through me. My spirit awakened one last time and gave me the power to become Ultra Ego Vegeta. 100 hearts, full power, here we go. I will not let you destroy this world. With my new Ultra Fists, I punched the Dark Wizard over and over. This is for Charles! The Dark Wizard tried to strike back, but in Ultra Ego mode, the more damage I take, the more damage my attacks dealt.
No, all my power, it's being used against me.
It's not your power, but this is mine. With one decisive blow, I punched the Dark Wizard into space dust. Sayonara! The battle was now over. On day 100, I found Stu training with the tribal gremlin in the gym to become a stronger fighter. I guess he really looks up to the Saiyans after all, and all that true warrior talk set a positive example. There's nothing wrong with having a martial arts student, but I guess I wasn't expecting I'd become the master at the end of my journey. I'll be on guard here at the base while I train Stu and anyone else who shows up, because after all, there will always be people like the Dark Wizard who misuse power. From here on out, I'm going to make sure that the power is in the hands of true warriors. On day 1, I spawned in as a fire spider. Oh cool, I got 8 legs and 4 hearts. But whoa, I'm not a regular spider, I'm a fire spider. That means I have to avoid water no matter what. I should probably look around. I started testing out my new abilities. I can jump high, run super fast, and climb up walls. Woohoo! Just as I was jumping from tree to tree, a swarm of tarantula hawks started to attack. Ah, where did you come from? Quickly, I jumped off of the tree and started running away. But these guys were fast. They even took out some of my hearts. Ouch, I need those! Realizing that I couldn't outrun these guys forever, I decided I needed to fight. I wonder if I have something that could help me fight these tarantula hawks. Just then, I looked into my inventory and saw I had an item, Web Shot. Throw at your enemies to attack or stun them. This should work. Quickly, I put this ability into effect and started throwing webs at the tarantula hawks. Whoa, this is awesome! I managed to bring down several of the tarantula hawks with my Web Shot until there was only one left. He quickly fled before I could take him down. Ha! And stay out, you flying fiend! I proceeded to look around a little more before I decided to call it a night. On day 2, I woke up hungry and decided to make my first web. I placed it in the tree and waited. Soon, I caught a fly. Tasty. Then I went and took a look around. I stumbled upon a hole in the ground and decided to check it out. Maybe I can find some more fire spiders here. Well, I couldn't find any more fire spiders. I managed to find some stone, but I couldn't mine it because it required tools. I better go get some resources. Just as I was about to leave, a bunch of badgers started to attack. Hey, what's the big deal? These guys were tough, but I managed to fling web shots at them and managed to defeat them. They dropped some loot in the process. I picked up a stone pickaxe and sword. Oh, these will come in handy. With the pickaxe, I mined the stone and even found some iron that I could use for later. Wow, this hole is great! After checking to make sure there were no more badgers, I decided to set up camp in the hole. After clearing out some space, I set up a little place for myself, and even started to build other houses, just in case some more spiders were to come. On day 3, I climbed out of the hole and started gathering wood from the surrounding trees. Just as I was about to bring down one of the trees, I heard a noise.
Hey, stop that down there!
Suddenly, a pigeon flew down from the top.
What do you think you are doing?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know anyone was living in this tree.
Well, there is. You can't just go around destroying everything you see like some kind of barbarian.
I didn't mean any harm, I promise. He sighed.
Just be careful next time.
Just as the pigeon was talking, a falcon came out of nowhere and started to attack.
Oh no, not this guy. You better run, little fire spider.
Instead, I used my web to attack the falcon and knock him out of the sky.
Oh, thank you so much. That falcon has been attacking me and my friends for a long time.
You're most welcome. I'm always looking for ways I can help. Why was he attacking you?
He is a servant of the Lizard King, the evil ruler who enslaves animals with fear.
Oh no, that's terrible. This Lizard King sounds like he's a real handful to deal with.
My name is Percy, and I would be happy to help you with anything you need.
Thank you, I could use help. You know, I have a place that you and your friends can stay to keep away from falcons. It's underground and I'm still building it. Would you like to come?
Most of the time, pigeons don't like living underground, but that sounds like the safe idea.
On days 4 and 5, I helped Percy put together some houses for him and his friends.
This place is going to look great, Zozo. A safe haven away from the Lizard King.
You're right. I'm gonna have to see if I can get more critters out of danger. I also don't know where any fire spiders are.
Well, in the meantime, I will stay here and continue working. Before you go, I wanted to give you this.
Percy gave me some iron armor and a sword, made from the iron I had found earlier.
I thought it best for your journey. Take care, my fiery spider friend.
Thanks, Percy. I will return. Soon I was off to find the Lizard King, when all of a sudden, the tarantula hawk I fought on the first day returned with even more of his friends.
We shall have our revenge on you.
They all started swarming me with their stingers. Ouch, leave me alone! With the new sword, I managed to defeat most of the tarantula hawks, but the main tarantula hawk was heading right for me.
I will defeat you and take you to the Lizard King myself.
He was tougher to beat than the other tarantula hawks. I even took some damage from him. You may be strong, but I won't be defeated. Dodging his blows with my speed and jumping ability, I kept on striking him until at last he was defeated. As he disappeared, he dropped some bronze armor as well as a beaker of poison. If I'm going to come in contact with any more of the Lizard King's minions, I'm gonna need this. On days 6 through 8, I continued my journey to find the Lizard King. Along the way, I managed to find a village. Hello, anyone here? I went through all the buildings, gathering supplies where I could find them, but could not find anyone. How could an entire village just vanish like this? I started hearing what sounded like voices from one of the center buildings. Maybe there are some villagers still here. After following the voices, I discovered who was in the building. It was the Lizard King. He had on a huge crown and had big red eyes. Yikes, those are gonna haunt my nightmares. Gathering up what courage I had, I charged towards the Lizard King. Hey, why are you being so cruel to all the creatures of this land? They just want to live peaceful lives, free from bullies like you. The Lizard King looked at me with those red eyes.
The tiny fire spider who defeated my tarantula hawks. You will pay for your actions. Attack!
Then all of a sudden, the floor started shaking, and from out of the ground spawned a giant desert centipede. Uh-oh, this could be bad. The centipede was strong, it had over 20 hearts, and it was quick. It's a good thing I can jump and climb, or this thing would surely take me out. Then I remembered I had the beaker of poison, and prepared to use it on the centipede. Just as I was about to use it, the centipede attacked and knocked the beaker out of my hand, shattering on the floor. Oh no! The centipede grabbed onto me, shaking me around with its mandibles, and shaking the hearts out of me. This is not good! Just as I was about to lose my last heart, the Lizard King commanded he let me go.
That's enough. I still need subjects to rule. You really thought you could defeat me? Ha! Come back again when you are worthy.
That fight did a lot of damage to me, and all of a sudden, I blacked out. On days 9 and 10, I awoke to a different location. It looked like one of the houses in the village, only it was really damaged and there were webs on the walls. Ah, spiders! Oh, wait, I'm a spider too. I climbed around the damaged house to see if any more spiders were around. Hello? Any other spiders around here? Regular or fire type? Any will do. Or anyone? Preferably ones who don't want to squish me? I looked around a little more, and eventually I spotted what appeared to be a small, normal spider. Hey, where am I?
Oh good, you're awake. It's good to see you up.
Where's the Lizard King? Where's the centipede?
You fought the Lizard King and his centipede? It's a miracle you're still alive. When I found you, they were both gone. I was really worried you weren't going to wake up, but couldn't not help a spider in need. We brought you here to look after you.
We? Who's we?
Well, me and my brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters? There's more of you?
Oh yes, at least 700. We live in dark, shadowy areas near here, under the protection of Daddy Longlegs. Would you like to meet him?
Sure. Oh, and what's your name?
Marcy. I'm a jumping spider.
Indeed. Lead the way, Marcy. On days 11 to 12, Marcy led me to a secret passageway where we climbed down into a dark hall. Through the hall, we came upon the cave of Daddy Longlegs. It was surrounded by several different spiders of all different types and sizes.
Daddy Longlegs, here's the fire spider who fought the centipede. He is healed and wishes to meet with you.
Proceed, good spider.
I am Zozo, and I come to help fight against the evil of the Lizard King.
You are indeed brave, Zozo, but I am afraid the Lizard King cannot be defeated.
What do you mean? How can he not be defeated?
He controls the predators of the animal kingdom, forcing us spiders to live underground. Any attempt we have tried to fight against him, he takes out numbers of us. I'm afraid it's too risky for our survival.
I understand your concern, Daddy Longlegs, but we cannot keep living in fear. Someone has to do something. If nobody else will, then I will. But I know together we can do better, be stronger. Some of us might be squashed in a moment, but surely he can't stop all of us. Then I could hear Marcy cheering from the back.
Huzzah! Huzzah!
Her cheering led to all the other spiders starting to cheer as well. Huzzah! Daddy Longlegs looked convinced and agreed to help me.
All right, Zozo, you have made your point. I will send some spiders to help you on your journey. Perhaps we truly can defeat the Lizard King.
3 spiders volunteered to help me on my quest. First was Taylor, a massive tarantula.
Yeah, dude.
Then there was Bruno, an orb-weaving spider.
Do you need a web? I got a web. It's a nice web. Did I tell you about my web?
This guy really likes his web.
Yeah, man.
Finally, there was Scarlet. She was a black widow.
I can turn anyone's life into a tragedy.
Well, I hope that will come in handy for us. Nice to meet all of you. Together, let's take this guy down. On days 13 to 15, we arrived back at my hole base. I didn't know how Percy and his friends were going to take there being more spiders, so I proceeded with caution.
Hello, Zozo.
Hey, Percy. Wow, you got a lot of work done. This base is looking even better than I thought it could.
Thanks. I managed to convince some other birds and animals to come make this their new home.
You've done great. Hey, I wanted to tell you something.
Sure. What is... Oh, more spiders! What the... What are these animals doing here?
They look tasty to me. Yeah, dude.
Before this tension was to become a battle, I had to calm down both sides. Listen, in order for us to defeat the Lizard King, we must stay strong together, no matter what species we are. Also, no eating the birds.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
After that was over, I managed to get everyone working together to create a giant statue of our hero. I hoped it could be seen as a symbol of justice and goodness for all walks of life. Can you tell what we're building? On days 16 to 19, I got a chance to meet all the new members of the base. Hey, how are you? Good to see ya. Welcome. I even ran into some unexpected guests. Oh no, the badgers again.
Wait, we're sorry for attacking you earlier. We just didn't have any other place to go. We saw how you built this place, and your friend Percy said it was okay for us to stay.
So wait, we're all on the same team?
Yep, we're also really sorry for attacking you earlier.
It's all right. I guess I can understand you being scared of someone trying to harm you. Welcome to the base. I have said that no matter our differences, we've got to work together to defeat the Lizard King.
Thank you.
Just as I was going around meeting new people, I saw Marcy run in looking for me.
I am delivering gifts for you for your journey. These are from Daddy Longlegs.
Marcy presented me with a new silver armor and sword with a special ability, Poisonous Attack. What would I do without you and Daddy Longlegs? This will be great for my journey. Thanks, Marcy.
You're welcome. Say, this place is pretty nice. Do you think I can tell the other spiders about it?
Sure. It's not quite finished though, but maybe when I'm done you guys can come see it. There's a lot of you, so I've got to make sure everyone is really impressed.
Deal.
On days 20 to 22, Taylor, Bruno, Scarlet, and I were off to catch the Lizard King. On the road, Scarlet spotted some signs up ahead.
We should be careful. It looks like we are entering into the realm of the ants.
Ants? Are they dangerous?
They attack in numbers and can overwhelm any creature bigger than they are.
Even someone like Taylor?
Yeah, dude.
Well, then we will definitely be cautious. I can't imagine anything worse than being dogpiled by a bunch of creepy crawlers. We scoured around for a bit, when all of a sudden a giant zombie praying mantis arose from under the ground. Gosh, he must have been attacked by the ants. Those guys are vicious.
Yeah, now we gotta put him out of his misery.
Bruno started making a web net to trap the praying mantis in, and Taylor threw it over to the mantis, trapping him.
I think we got him.
Just then, the mantis started tearing his way through the web net. Don't worry, guys, I got this. I jumped toward the praying mantis and started using my new sword. Say your prayers now, mantis. Within a few strikes, he was finally defeated, and I felt something inside me start to change. I increased in size and even had more hearts. My attacks felt stronger too, infused with even more fiery goodness. On days 23 to 26, we finally got to the anthill.
We need to be cautious. The ants could attack if we are spotted. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not interested in becoming a zombie fire spider today.
Just then, a fireball flew overhead. It was the ant guards, and they were shooting at us with trebuchets. Ah, talk about fire ants! All of a sudden, Bruno started working on what appeared to be a giant slingshot. Oh, great idea! Scarlet had some TNT, as well as some flint and steel. We decided that would work perfectly for returning fire.
Bombs away!
We took out the trebuchet and sent the ants running into their hill. Way to go, team! On days 27 to 31, we decided to go inside the hill. Wow, these guys have been busy. Inside, we found a lot of cool items that I could use for the compound and the statue. Glowstones, I can use these. As we journeyed deeper into the caves, we saw a hidden message on the wall. Subscribe? That's not a bad idea, honestly.
Yeah, dude.
A little further, and we began to see what appeared to be a story by the ants.
Apparently, the Queen Ant was tricked by the Lizard King, and now he has a puppet queen acting for him.
That's terrible. These ants should not be under the control of a puppet ruler. We need to do something. All of a sudden, something occurred. Ants began to crawl out from the walls. Get back! I mean it! No matter how hard we fought, the ants were too numerous, and they captured us. On days 32 to 35, the ants led us to the deeper parts of the anthill. Where are you taking us?
I kept trying to talk to them, but they would not respond. It was as if something was wrong with them completely.
Hello, can you hear me?
Eventually, we came to what I suppose is their throne room. The queen ant sat there looking sinister.
Spiders? How disgusting. You will make a fine specimen for the Lizard King. Though my children and I are getting hungry.
I'm getting pretty tired of creatures telling me they want to eat me. How about I give you something to eat instead?
I looked up and I could see what looked like a chandelier made of glowstones. I fired a web shot at it and the whole thing started to come crashing down.
No, not the chandelier.
I fell hard onto the queen ant, squishing her.
Whoa, what a way to go.
On days 36 to 39, we began leaving the hill. The hill was even bigger than I remembered, as we wove through many different hallways. We got lost more than once.
Man, how could one place look the same at every turn?
When we finally decided on a place to go, more ants came toward us. If we couldn't get out, we'd be in real trouble.
Stay back, we're armed.
Well, technically legged.
No, please don't hurt us, and we don't want to hurt you.
Okay, well then what is it you do want?
We are servants of the true Queen Ant. When you defeated the other queen, we finally freed her, and she wanted to thank you.
Well, that's very nice of her. I'm glad she's back on her throne.
Feel free to come back anytime. If you have any questions, please let me know.
I did have one question. How do we get out?
Oh, right. You go up, make a left, and climb out of the big hole in the top.
Okay, that seems simple enough. Thanks.
No problem. You can climb, right?
Spider.
Oh, right.
On days 40 to 43, we thought it would be best to get back to the compound and put these glowstones to good use. Percy was doing a great job building places for the new creatures finding out about this place.
If there is one thing we birds know, it is how to make a nest to come home to.
You're doing great, Percy. I also thought these could come in handy.
Glowstones, excellent. It was starting to look a little dark here.
Right away, we got to work using the glowstones to create light fixtures around the compound. I also made sure that these were built strong enough so that no one could get hurt if they were damaged.
The last thing we'd want is for there to be another queen ant situation. No one likes to get smushed.
When a spider builds something, it is made to last.
Also, when birds, badgers, and other wildlife chip in on the building, it definitely helps in the long run.
On days 44 to 50, I continued working on the statue. I'm really excited about this one and feel like it's coming along really well. Can you tell what the statue is yet?
All of a sudden, I could see a little jumping creature appearing in the horizon. Marcy, it's good to see you.
Oh, Zozo, I'm glad I found you. I have terrible news.
Oh no, what's the problem?
The Lizard King attacked the spider base with an army of scorpions.
Scorpions? Really?
Yes, they are one of our biggest enemies.
That's terrible. I'm so sorry. I really didn't think he'd be bold enough to take on the entire spider nest at one time. I'm sorry I couldn't have stopped him from doing this.
So am I. I wanted to tell you so you won't have to have the same fate. Now we have nowhere safe.
Wait a minute. Why don't you all come live at my base?
Wait, really? Are you sure you won't mind all of us living with you?
Of course not. Besides, us spiders need to stick together.
Plus, I've got plenty of room here. There's no limit to the amount of houses we can make for everyone.
Ha! I see what you did there. I better go tell the other spiders right now.
Quickly, I got started gathering more materials and supplies to start building for my new neighbors. I took a good long while to gather the stuff and start building, but it was all worth it. On days 51 to 53, all of the spiders arrived. Whoa, there sure are a lot of you. Welcome. Among the spiders appeared Daddy Longlegs, and I went over to greet him. Hi, Daddy Longlegs. I'm glad to see you're all right. You're all welcome here.
Thank you, Zozo, for doing this. You have given the spiders and many others hope.
It was my pleasure. The spiders sure are honored and lucky to have a protector like you.
Oh no, Zozo. I may have been their protector before, but you are their protector now. However, if you need advice, I will always be around.
I will definitely appreciate that. I know you've seen a lot of spiders in your day. I'd never be able to lead anyone as well as you have. Afterwards, I introduced Daddy Longlegs and the other spiders to the rest of the compound. They got along pretty well. I loved seeing everyone so happy to make new friends. On days 54 to 57, the whole compound got together to start building walls so no intruders could come in. When most of the building was completed, we decided we should celebrate the new compound community. Daddy Longlegs prepared to give a speech.
I am truly thankful that we can all live in harmony, thanks to our magnificent friend, Zozo.
Oh, guys, I appreciate that. While Daddy Longlegs kept speaking, no one noticed a group of scorpions sneaking up behind him. Daddy Longlegs, look out! But he didn't hear me, and one of the scorpions stabbed him in the back with a stinger.
Oh no, Daddy Longlegs!
The spiders began attacking the scorpions while I tried to lead Daddy Longlegs to safety. Just stay here, you're gonna be fine.
No, Zozo, it's time for me to go.
What? You can't go, it's not over yet.
It's okay, Zozo. Take care of them all for me.
I will. I stayed with Daddy Longlegs until the end. When I checked back, the spiders won the battle. Sadly, it was up to me to share the sad news. On days 58 to 62, the whole compound worked together to build a memorial for Daddy Longlegs. Rest in peace, Daddy Longlegs. You will be missed by us all. I promise I will do what needs to be done. While we were sad at the loss of our friend, we all realized we needed better fortifications. We spent a good portion of the days building up the walls and putting up watchtowers. I was so embarrassed that we were attacked when we thought we were safe. They should protect us, but I just wish I could have done more.
Don't go blaming yourself, Zozo. Nobody could have guessed what was going to happen.
To take my mind off of all of this, I went back to finish the statue. Maybe this could give us some more hope. Now can you tell who our spider hero is? It's the most famous web slinger of all time, Spider-Man, of course. Just as I completed it, Scarlet showed up and told me a messenger came to see me. We ran to the gate to see it was the ant from the anthill. Hello, what are you doing here?
We heard about your attack. We are sorry for your loss.
Thank you. It has been hard for a lot of us.
Our queen wanted to give you something for your loss, as well as your fight against the Lizard King.
The ant handed over a wrapped gift and told me to use it wisely. I couldn't wait to see what it was. I will definitely treasure this. Thank you, and thank your queen for me.
I shall, and you are most welcome.
On days 63 to 66, I opened the package to reveal a bunch of potions. Inside there was a health upgrade potion. I took it right away, and I gained 8 more hearts. I took a look at the other potions. Stinger Shock can cause your enemy to be paralyzed and allow you to either heal or attack. Boy, if I ever run into that centipede again, I am gonna use this. I met with my friends and told them that this would be my final mission.
Be careful, Zozo.
I will. I promise to return. We have lost too many friends for me to fail.
Good luck, Zozo. Go end this monster, once and for all.
Yeah, dude.
I said goodbye to my friends, and then I was off. All I could do was hope that I would see them again soon. On day 67 through 70, I journeyed off to find the Palace of the Lizard King. I first traveled toward the abandoned village where I first fought the centipede. I don't see him anywhere here. While I continued to look around, I spotted what appeared to be an ancient door. I wonder how long this has been here for. There was an inscription on the door that looked a little faded. I will with water when it rains. When sunlight comes, the water drains. To climb me is to achieve great gains. I quickly realized that it was a riddle and began putting it together. I got it! A water spout! The answer is a water spout! With this proclamation of the answer, the door cracked open to reveal a chest inside. I opened the box to show a full set of diamond armor and sword. I quickly put them to good use. Yeah, dude. I think I've been hanging out with Taylor a bit too much. On day 71 through 74, I traveled into the rainforest. Just as I was scurrying along the ground, a group of howler monkeys started throwing bananas at me. Oh, whoa! At least it's just bananas. One of the monkeys was huge. He must have been their leader. I started throwing web shots at him, trying to knock him out of the tree. You are not defeating me today! I managed to knock several monkeys out of the trees, forcing them to run away. The big monkey was the only one left. You might be strong, but you won't get me. With one last web shot, I knocked the monkey out of the tree and cornered him. Where is the Lizard King? Where is his palace? The big monkey gestured over in a direction. Afterwards, I went off that way. You know, that monkey looked kind of familiar. Nah, it was probably nothing. On day 75 to 78, I journeyed along until I came to a river. Uh-oh, it's my old nemesis, water. The river was way too wide to try and jump, and I didn't want to risk falling in, so I decided to build a bridge. I was halfway finished when out of nowhere, who was to turn up but the scorpions again. You guys, I'll make you pay for what you have done. I readied my sword and prepared to attack. This is for Daddy Longlegs. I charged at the scorpions and they leaped forward to attack me. They were strong, and I could tell they were trying to push me back into the water, but with my new armor, I could hold them off. I'll take you all on if I need to. Then I remembered I had the potion and quickly used it against the scorpions. Take this! The scorpions began to move slower, and I could see their attacks before they could make them. Block, stab, slice, gone! One by one, I took out each of the scorpions. I gathered a new item, Scorpion Tail, used to attack or intimidate enemies. Also can be used as a disguise. When all that was over, I continued making my bridge to get across the river. On day 79 to 85, I finally finished my bridge to cross the river. When I got to the other side, I found that the only way ahead was through a narrow ravine, but the entrance was guarded by 2 scorpions. Man, these guys are everywhere! While I could have attacked them, I remembered that I still had that scorpion tail in my belongings. I quickly put it on and approached them. La 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 la, just a disgusting scorpion out for a stroll. The guards didn't seem to mind and proceeded to let me through. Well, that was easy. While journeying, I wandered into an open field that looked pretty desert-like. Well, this is a weird place to put a desert. All of a sudden, I heard rumbling and could feel the ground shake. I knew right then what it was. Suddenly, the centipede bursted out of the ground, just like last time, and lunged toward me.
It was time to take my revenge.
Bring it on, leggy. That centipede was still fast and dangerous, but I was much more confident this time around. Oh, no you don't. I even used the scorpion tail to make a couple of hits, but it broke in the middle of the fight. So much for disguising myself again in the future. Take that, and that! Finally, I took out the potion again and used it for the finishing blows. I'm worthy enough this time. Prepare to be defeated. The potion worked, but the centipede was still quick. Furiously, I used everything I could to finally defeat it. Just then, I started feeling tingly. Ooh, I like this. I changed into a bigger and more powerful fire spider with even more hearts. All right now, Lizard King, prepare to meet your match. On days 86 to 90, I continued on my journey. I was feeling really confident until I realized I had just walked straight into quicksand. Oh, come on, who thinks of quicksand? Suddenly, I started thinking of ways to get out. All of a sudden, I could see Percy flying overhead. Percy, I'm glad you're here.
I can see that. How can I help?
Maybe you can pull me out, catch this chain, and start flying.
Good idea. Hit me.
I threw the line towards Percy and began flying, pulling me out of the quicksand. Oh, that was close. Thanks, Percy. What are you doing here?
I wanted to see how you were. You saved my life so many times before, and I guess I just wanted to repay you in some way.
Well, you definitely did that. If it wasn't for you, I would be in a really sticky situation. It can get risky at times, wandering around out here on my own.
You are definitely welcome, my friend. I will let the others know of your progress.
Just before he left, Percy warned me about something he saw while flying overhead.
Be careful. I saw what appeared to be a gang of bullfrogs coming in your direction. They must be heading to the palace of the Lizard King.
Bullfrogs, you say? Those things will gobble spiders up in one bite.
I'll be sure to look out for them. Thanks again, Percy. Take care. On days 91 to 94, I finally ran into the bullfrogs.
Wow, those guys are big. I didn't know bullfrogs could get that big.
For the most part, they didn't seem to notice me. That's until one of them apparently spotted me and started shooting his tongue at me. Yuck! I don't need you tasting me.
He was strong though. He even took out a couple of my hearts. If I didn't make a move, I was going to be one toasted bug.
I can't just keep fighting this guy forever. I knew I had to outmaneuver him, so I jumped into a tree and waited for him to get bored.
Luckily, he didn't seem to be the smartest of creatures, even though he was so tough.
Serves you right. I didn't come this far to become a spider snack.
On days 95 to 97, I followed the bullfrogs to the Lizard King's palace. They might have been strong, but they weren't very smart. They led me right to where I needed to go.
Wow, this is gonna be a lot. As I got closer to the gate, I spotted a message written on the palace roof. Subscribe. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Be sure to subscribe and like this video for more content. I go on a lot of adventures and would love to have you follow me on them. I tried to get through the front gate when a horde of gecko soldiers started to attack. Out of my way. I got a king to fight.
I smacked the heck out of them until finally they were all defeated. This guy really loved his amphibians.
On day 98, I ran inside through the palace corridors to find the Lizard King. Wow, this place is pretty ornate for a lizard. Hey, that armor looks kind of familiar. Oh yeah, I almost forgot that I had an adventure as a knight. That was a journey. You guys should definitely go check it out when you are done with this one. Through different rooms, I would occasionally have to battle some of the gecko soldiers. Don't you guys have anything better to do? Despite looking all throughout the palace, I couldn't seem to find the Lizard King anywhere. I was getting disappointed and even losing a little bit of hope. I turned around and I could see what appeared to be the ghost of a long-legged spider. Daddy Longlegs, is that you?
Yes, Zozo, it is I. I told you that I would always be there to help you. Don't give up. You are so close to the end.
You're right, Daddy Longlegs. I must continue. I'm scared though. I'm just a fire spider and I don't know if I'll defeat the Lizard King.
You may be small, but you have the spirit of a giant spider inside of you. And it's time to let that spirit out. I'm going to grant you the power that made me so big.
Something started to happen. Magic energy filled the room and I felt myself changing once again. I transformed into a gigantic fire spider. I had so many hearts now. Thanks, Daddy Longlegs. On day 99, I finally landed in the throne room. The Lizard King sat on his throne with his big red eyes staring at me.
Well, well, if it isn't the itsy-bitsy fire spider who defeated my minions. Looks like you aren't so small now, but I bet you're still weak. Come to face me at last?
I will do what I must.
Then you will croak.
Just then, he flipped a lever, and the bullfrogs I had seen earlier came in. Oh no, not these guys again! Then I remembered I still had the potion, and was about to use it when one of the frogs grabbed it with its tongue. Guess I'm gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Using my wall-crawling abilities and spider jumps, I dodged attacks from the frogs and gave them some damage. It looked like my attacks were superpowered with fire strength now. Soon, all the frogs were defeated, though I could swear I missed one. Now it's just you and me, Lizard King.
So be it.
He charged toward me with lightning-fast speed, giving me strong blows that did cause some damage.
You should not have fought against me, Spider. I am the Lizard King.
Oh yeah? And how do you taste?
What?
Just then, the last frog I thought I missed shot his tongue out, grabbed the Lizard King by the tail, and sucked him into his mouth.
No!
I became hesitant because I didn't know how the frog was going to respond. Hey, you're that frog I fought with earlier. I'm sorry for hurting you. Truce? The frog just looked at me, then suddenly spat up the Lizard King's crown. He croaked, then proceeded to hop away. Well, I guess that means truce. On day 100, I returned to the base to see everyone there, waiting for me. I told them all about what happened with the Lizard King. Wow, I didn't even know frogs could eat lizards. Neither did I. Guess you learn something new every day.
Zozo, I'm glad you've returned.
Yeah, dude. The Lizard King's defeated. Now we're free.
This would not have been possible without you, Zozo. Thank you, from all of us. Now we can go back to living our lives in peace.
And now we have a new home for spiders of all walks of life. Then there came a commotion at the gate. What's going on over there? Suddenly, a loud croak could be heard.
Frog!
No, wait, I think I know him. Turns out it was the frog from earlier, come by to say hello. I'm glad you could come by. Just one rule, no eating anybody. The frog agreed and I proceeded to introduce him to everyone. This had been quite the adventure.
On day 1, I spawned into the alien fields as Pikachu, the world's most iconic Pokemon. Pikachu! Pikachu! Phew, sorry, allergies. At least I'm starting off with 10 hearts. That's pretty cool. I wonder if I have any powers. Suddenly, I activated my lightning attack and zapped a nearby tree. What a cool starting power! I have electricity powers, just like the real Pikachu. This is gonna be so much fun. But how come I'm the only Pikachu here? Are there any others? But instead of other Pikachu, I saw a big, scary Enderman wandering towards me.
Whoa, a real Pikachu. I thought Broden was just bluffing, but he really did manage to conjure us a Pikachu. How exciting!
Broden? What are you talking about? I'm Zozo. I just got here.
What? It can talk? Gross. That's weird. Broden isn't going to be happy with a defective Pikachu. I better destroy you.
I have no idea what's going on here, but I'm gonna get out as quickly as I can. So I did, turning and running away from the Enderman before he or his mysterious buddy Broden could destroy me. Alrighty, this doesn't seem like a nice place for a Pikachu to be. I took a second to rest when a skeleton came shambling towards me. Not today, Boney. With a zap of my lightning powers, the skeleton was gone. I found somewhere that seemed relatively calm and decided to lay down to rest. I know I'm not meant to be here, but I need to figure out why before I can escape. On day 2, I woke up and decided that I couldn't afford to just sit around and mope about being trapped in this weird world. I need to figure out a solution to my predicament, but first, I need to get myself some tools. With a lot of effort, I broke down a tree until I could make enough planks and sticks to make a crafting table and a wooden pickaxe. From there, I mined into the ground and collected enough stone to craft myself a stone pickaxe and a stone sword. Okay, I can't deny that a little Pikachu holding a big stone sword looks really funny. I don't think I'm gonna be able to intimidate anyone like this. Still, with my new tools, I decided to search around until I found an iron golem standing at a campfire, chillin'. He saw me, but he didn't try to chase or attack me. That was a good sign. Excuse me, Mr. Iron Golem, could you explain what's going on around here?
Sure, but first, answer this question for me. Am I dreaming right now?
I don't think so.
So, I'm actually seeing a talking Pikachu right now. Huh, this has gotta be the work of Broden the Conjurer.
Broden, that weird Enderman told me about him. What's his deal?
He's kind of a weird dude. He's a really powerful conjurer, but he's super greedy and possessive. He just uses powers to summon stuff for himself, and if he's not happy with it, he or his goons destroy it.
Yikes, then I guess I gotta stop him before he has a chance to destroy me.
Right on, little dude.
I noticed I was hungry, and the Iron Golem gave me some nice apples to sate my hunger. It was relieving to know that there were still good people out here. On day 3, after leaving the spacey Iron Golem with his campfire, I went off searching for somewhere to live in the alien fields. I should probably start building my base, but man, that's gonna be so much work, especially for a teeny little Pikachu like me. But that's when I had a stroke of good luck. I found a broken down hut in a clearing. Wait, maybe I can clean this place up rather than making a whole base from scratch. That'll be perfect for me. I started cleaning up the mess and rebuilding the broken parts of the base. It felt like some bizarro Pokemon Home Reno show, but by the time I was done, things were coming along really well. I could see myself staying here. But suddenly, I was interrupted by a vicious killer rabbit running towards me. A creature that weird must have been created by that weird Broden guy, just like me. I zapped the nasty killer rabbit with my lightning powers, then finished it off with my new stone sword. What's down, Duck? It's you. You're down, cause I defeated you. I really need to work on my witty quips. Defeating the rabbit also gave me enough XP to level up. I evolved into a bigger, stronger Pikachu with 20 hearts. Awesome, I really am a Pikachu, and I'm feeling stronger already. With that victory under my belt, I spent the rest of my day watching my favorite show. What an eventful day. From day 4 to day 5, I ventured back into the depths of the alien fields to collect more materials for expanding my base. Electricity-based attacks may be what I'm known for, but it turns out I'm a master carpenter. Who knew? While collecting more stone and chopping down more wood, I heard a rustling and stopped. I turned and saw the same long, lanky Enderman who'd hassled me when I first spawned. Oh no, not you again!
Oh yeah, it's me! Bet you never thought you'd see me again!
I just hoped I'd never see you again. Why do you work for this Broden guy anyway? What does he actually want?
He wants everything, and he can get it too, cause he's a conjurer. Get it? He conjures stuff, and he also conjures things for his friends, like me.
Then why does he want to destroy me? If he can just make himself another Pikachu, can't he just let me go?
He's a perfectionist. If Broden can't have exactly what he wants, he'll destroy everything. That's why I need to destroy you now.
The time for talk was over. I fired a lightning strike at the Enderman, and he fought back. It was a tense battle, but this time I wasn't running. I defeated the Enderman and headed back to my base. This Broden guy sounds like no fun at all. From day 6 to day 8, I entered a cave, feeling confident enough to venture into the depths and get myself some cool new materials. After all, with a cool stone pickaxe, I can finally mine iron ore. This wasn't just some shallow cave though, it kept going and going and going. I had a feeling that I could get lost down here if I wasn't careful. It's so eerie to be alone here. But sadly, I wasn't alone. There was a big, scary wither waiting for me, and it blasted some wither skulls at me. I took a few hits, then returned fire, attacking relentlessly until the wither was no more. I definitely didn't want to run into another one of those. Instead, I went just a little deeper into the cave. There, I found some iron ore and quickly mined a bunch of it. I took it back to my base and smelted it, and created myself a brand new iron sword and iron pickaxe. This plucky Pikachu is armed and dangerous. From day 9 to day 10, I decided it was time for a change of scenery, so I traveled out to the Badlands, which were hot and dry compared to the alien fields. Still, what a view! However, I wasn't able to take in the view for long, as I was approached by a mysterious figure, an illager from faraway lands. As I approached, I felt a strange energy coming off of him, like he was oddly familiar. Hi there, I'm Zozo. Do I know you from somewhere? I'm getting the weirdest sense of deja vu right now.
You've probably heard of me. I'm the great Broden, impresario, part-time psychic, noted indie singer-songwriter, and conjurer extraordinaire.
Oh no, you're Broden?
Oh yes, I'm Broden, and you belong to me. Time to go, little Pikachu. You can never send an Enderman to do a conjurer's job.
I tried to zap him with my lightning, but it didn't seem to affect him. And with one hit from him, I was already on the ropes. All I could do was run off into the Badlands as fast as I could, until I didn't see Broden the Conjurer anywhere behind me. It was the most stressful day yet. I'm gonna need to become a lot stronger before I'm ready to fight this guy. After a day of aimless wandering, I ended up running into another weird creature, an iron chicken, and we seem to have something in common.
Broden the Conjurer created me too. He thought the idea of an iron chicken was funny, but then after a week, he got bored of me and tried to destroy me. I was lucky to escape with my life.
This guy is a monster. Say, wanna come back to my base with me? Us weird conjured creatures ought to stick together if we wanna survive. And as we get stronger, we can work towards defeating him together.
Sounds good to me, Zozo. Let's go.
From day 11 to day 12, I returned to my base with the Iron Chicken. He needed somewhere to stay, so I took the time to build him a new room. Thankfully, with him being a little Iron Chicken, it didn't need to be a very big room. When I was finished, he was eager to get some shut-eye in there.
Thanks, Zozo. This is so much nicer than just wandering around the Badlands.
But while the Iron Chicken slept, I realized I still had a major headache from where Broden the Conjurer hit me. I'm too small for regular armor, but I should probably at least create a helmet to protect my head. I ventured back into the same mining cave from before and descended in. It was just as dark and scary as before, but thankfully this time, there was no wither to bother me. I mined some iron ore to take back to my base and smelt, but on the way back, I was attacked by an angry Pigarus. None of my attacks were powerful enough to hurt him, so I was forced to retreat further back into the cave. I needed a way to defeat him, but I was scared of getting too close and being defeated myself. That's when I found just what I needed, laying around in the cave. A bow and some arrows? Perfect! I went back and used the bow to defeat the Pigarus at a safe distance before running back out of the cave with my hard-earned iron ore. I returned to my base and smelted the iron and used it to craft an iron helmet. This should come in handy the next time I take a knock to the noggin. From day 13 to day 15, I spoke more to the Iron Chicken about his experiences with Broden the Conjurer. Knowledge is power, and the more I knew about him, the more chance I'd have of finding a weakness. So, Iron Chicken, what was it like when he spawned you?
Well, just like you, I spawned in out of nowhere, and Broden was waiting for me. At first, he seemed so nice and kind and happy to see me. He was a little kooky, but honestly, I liked him. But little by little, over time, I could tell something was off. And one day, he attacked me and tried to destroy me, just because he was bored of me. He's incredibly powerful, so if I hadn't moved quickly like I did, I would have been doomed. He's kind when he wants you, and unimaginably cruel when he doesn't. I can only imagine some of the scary things he's conjured over the years.
After hearing the Iron Chicken's story, I felt a chill go down my Pokemon's spine. If he was really that powerful, how could I have any real chance of defeating him? Especially at my current strength level. I'm kind of beginning to wish I hadn't asked now. From day 16 to day 19, I woke up to some shocking news. The Iron Chicken had gone missing. Oh no, I need to find and save him. I wonder where he could be. Strangely, there was a terrible smell lingering. Maybe the Iron Chicken had been kidnapped by some kind of really stinky assailant? I followed the smell as it got stronger and stronger. A day later, I arrived in the bamboo jungle, where the smell was particularly strong. I'm so lucky that this mysterious kidnapper never showers. From there, it didn't take me very long to hunt down the stinky kidnapper. It was a huge, scary vile ogre. You're the one who kidnapped my friend. How dare you?
Oh, get over it. Kidnapping your foolish metal chicken friend is the best way to get leverage with Broden the Conjurer. If I return his chicken to him, maybe he'll give me whatever I want.
I'm never gonna let that happen. I fought hard against the stinky vile ogre, using my powers and my iron sword to defeat him. Soon enough, only I remained. This gave me enough XP to level up and evolve again, getting bigger, tougher, going up to 30 hearts. Every day, I'd get a little bigger and tougher. Then, the Iron Chicken ran out from behind the bamboo.
Zozo, that was amazing! I was watching you from behind the bamboo. Thanks for saving me from that stinky weirdo.
No problem, Icy. Head back to the base. We'll talk again later. I'm gonna keep exploring the bamboo jungle. The Iron Chicken left, and I continued looking around. It was a nice, calming place. Bamboo is one of the fastest growing plants. That's something to aspire to. Over the course of the journey, I ran into a pair of aggressive skeletons. Without any hesitation, I used my lightning to take out the two bony fiends. And shortly after those two were gone, a genie floated out towards me.
Good work defeating those skeletons, Zozo. They were really spoiling the view.
Wait, how do you know my name?
I know many things. I also know of your quest to defeat Brodin the Conjurer. I may have some information that will help you along the way if you'll hear me out, little Pokemon.
Of course, please, tell me more.
A special food item. One that will give you the power you need to surpass the Conjurer. The Dynamax Candy.
Dynamax Candy? But where can I find it?
I'm afraid I've said too much already. Good luck, Zozo. May we meet again someday.
And with that, the genie left, and I was left alone again. I need to find that Dynamax Candy somehow. From day 20 to day 22, I returned to my base to find some skeletons waiting for me. They must have been angry at me for taking out their skeleton buddies back in the bamboo jungles. The skeletons attacked, but now I was strong enough to pretty easily defeat them all. I returned to my room to relax. Iron Chicken came in to talk to me.
You wanted to see me, Zozo?
Yeah, I've had an idea for a statue, something we can build to help inspire us. I know just the thing. Iron Chicken was so eager to get started that he went off to begin while I was still resting. By the time I left my room to take a look, he'd already made some amazing progress. This looks incredible, Iron Chicken.
Thank you, Zozo. I just thought you had such a great idea. I felt completely inspired.
Take a load off now. I'll add a little myself. After the Iron Chicken left to rest, I added a little extra to the statue before calling it a day. Still, Iron Chicken and I had made some pretty amazing progress. Can you tell what it's gonna be yet? Let me know down in the comments. And if you want more Zozo adventures, sub and hit that bell to never miss another one. From day 23 to day 26, a wild Enderman approached me as I was taking in the scenery of my base.
Pikachu, I'll get you.
I've got plenty of Thundershocks, so come and get it! The Enderman attacked, and I was able to fight back effectively by using my electrical attacks. After I destroyed the Enderman with a lightning strike, it dropped a whole bunch of shark tooth arrows. Way cool! I always thought I'd have to be a surfing Pikachu to get a hold of this many shark teeth. Afterwards, I headed out through the Badlands to give the shark tooth arrows a shot. The next Enderman I find will be no match for a Pikachu with arrows. I was shooting some weak skeletons to test the weapon when I came across a wandering trader carrying an inventory full of goods. Good afternoon, wandering trader.
Actually, my name is Wally. I am in fact a wandering trader. I've been wandering through these dangerous Badlands and looking for a nice safe base to peddle my wares. Do you know anywhere like that?
I do. I happen to be the owner of a prime secret base located in the alien fields.
That sounds promising, as long as it's safe.
You won't be disappointed. I'm Zozo, by the way. I brought Wally to the base and built a small storefront where he could sell his items. I wanted to make extra special sure that it was as safe as he wanted it to be. It turns out that Wally had the same idea. By the time I was done constructing his store, the wandering trader had built a perimeter wall around the entire base.
Better safe than sorry, you know.
You got that right. From day 27 to day 31, I talked a bit more with Wally the Wandering Trader. I figured someone as well-traveled as him would probably know many things about the world that my Pikachu self wouldn't.
Ask me anything you wish, Zozo. Information is free of charge.
Have you ever heard of a special food item called the Dynamax Candy?
The Dynamax Candy? I've certainly heard stories about it. They say that whoever eats it gains the ability to grow into a gigantic version of themselves with unbelievable power.
That sounds like exactly what I would need to turn the tables on Brodin the Conjurer. Can you tell me where I can find it?
I don't know exactly where it is, but there is a pixie in the bamboo jungle to the east who I heard the stories of the Dynamax Candy from. If you can find her, maybe she knows more.
A bamboo jungle, huh? I've been there before. I gathered all my best gear and went back towards the bamboo jungle, just like Wally the Wandering Trader suggested. It was a far journey for a Pikachu, but I was a little bigger and stronger than I was at the start of my Pokemon journey. But just because I was a higher level didn't mean the challenges wouldn't get tougher as well. The Vindicator standing in my way was proof of that.
Not so fast there, Pikachu. You may be one of the world's most famous mice, but you're not getting past me.
I guess you're not a Poke fan. Oh well, if you're gonna fight me, then I'm gonna win. Thunderbolt! I used my lightning strike to make a first impression, then hit the Vindicator several times with my iron sword. He tried to fight back, but my attacks were much faster.
Ouch! Why does Pikachu always get what Pikachu wants?
The Vindicator ran away to fight another day. I wondered if we'll end up crossing paths again. From day 32 to day 35, I continued my journey through the bamboo jungle until I was able to meet up with the pixie that Wally the Wandering Trader had mentioned. Hey there, I heard you might know about the Dynamax candy.
Oh, wow! You're a Pikachu! I'm a huge fan. I never thought I'd meet you in person. Well, in Pixie.
Thank you, that's very nice. But I was hoping you could tell me about the Dynamax candy.
Yeah, I know all about it. Can I have your autograph first?
I feel like this conversation is going in circles. While I was trying to get more specifics out of the pixie, we were interrupted by the sudden appearance of Broden the Conjurer.
That's my Pikachu. Go make your own. Besides, it's a defective Pikachu anyway. I'm here to destroy it so I can make a better one.
Both of us ran for cover to hide from him. Once I was hidden, I noticed that the pixie was also in my hiding spot. It's too dangerous. You should get away from here while I distract him.
No way! He just said he wanted to destroy you. That's a really rude thing to do to anyone, especially a Pikachu.
I'll be fine. I've gotten away from him before. You should go to my base. We'll talk about the Dynamax candy there.
I get to go to Pikachu's base? Woohoo! If you make it back there, I'll tell you everything I know about the Dynamax candy.
Pixie flew away, leaving the area of the battle. Without having to worry about her safety, I could escape Broden the Conjurer on my own.
Come out, Zozo! I'm going to destroy you!
You'll have to catch me first! I fired a few lightning strikes at him to confuse him and ran for another hiding spot. Broden began to follow me, so I used a lightning strike on a different block of bamboo jungle to confuse him.
Where are you hiding?
Once he didn't know about my hiding spot, I used my Pikachu speed to flee from battle. From day 36 to day 39, I was back at my base, building a small nest for my new pixie friend to live.
Thanks for letting me stay at your base. As promised, I'll tell you everything about the Dynamax candy.
I've been looking forward to hearing you say that.
The Dynamax candy has been hidden for a very long time because its power could be devastating in the wrong hands. But the old spellcaster who hid it away wrote down its true location in his book of secrets. That way, if it ever needed to be used to defeat a great evil, there would be a way to retrieve it.
That's exactly what I need it for. Where did this old spellcaster used to live?
In the Blue Giant Taiga. His book of secrets should still be there. But be warned, no one who has gone to the Blue Giant Taiga has ever returned.
I'm not just anyone. I'm a Pikachu. It should be no problem for me.
By the way, I saw you were working on a statue, and I made some additions to it.
I went and looked at the statue to see what they had added, and was very impressed by what I saw. That's some excellent building there, Pixie.
I wanted to do what I could to make this the best Pikachu base ever.
From day 40 to day 43, I went to visit the storefront of Wally the Wandering Trader that I built into my base. What's happening, Wally?
Zozo, good to see you. I've actually heard of an intriguing rumor about a nearby cave. It is said to contain a small fortune in diamonds.
Whoa, diamonds! Having some of those would go a long way towards better gear. I better go check this out.
Yes, but be careful. It is said that a Hydra has made its lair in the cave and is eating everyone who tries to take the diamonds.
I went to the cave that Wally the Wandering Trader had mentioned, and just like he said, there were plenty of diamonds ripe for mining. Didn't he also say there was a... I heard the many heads of a Hydra roar as the monster showed itself. A Hydra! That's what Wally warned me about. At first, I tried using my sword, but then I remembered that Hydras can easily regenerate their heads. So I dodged back and tried my lightning strike. It was a tough fight, and I had to keep avoiding the Hydra's attacks, but I took the beast down and was able to claim the treasure inside the cave. I mined the diamonds and decided to give both my sword and pickaxe a long-awaited upgrade. Now I had a diamond sword and a diamond pickaxe. From day 44 to day 49, I arrived in the Blue Giant Taiga, the dangerous biome from which nobody was said to return. There's a first time for everything, though. I journeyed through the terrain until I encountered a Dread Scuttler. My speed was much higher, so I kept my distance and pelted it with shark-tooth arrows. Once the Dread Scuttler was weak enough, I used a lightning strike to finish it off. The mobs here are definitely tough. I'd better stay on guard.
Oh, skeletons! No, have mercy!
The voice was coming from a fiery hippogriff who was being chased by a band of evil-looking skeletons. I decided that I should help him out. Back off, you nasty skeletons! I'm a Pikachu with a diamond sword, and I'm not afraid to use it! It was no easy feat to defeat them all, but when I managed to win, the fiery hippogriff was really impressed with my strength in battle.
Wow, I've never seen a Pikachu fight like that. I've actually never seen a Pikachu either.
I'm Zozo. I was actually conjured here by the evil Broden, and I'm looking for a book of secrets here in the Blue Giant Taiga.
Oh, I've heard of that. I was actually the old spellcaster's prized fiery hippogriff. We were as close as a trader and a Pokemon.
Oh, that's awesome! Can you take me to the book?
Sadly, it's been a long time since the old spellcaster was alive, and I've been chased around by the tundra's monsters ever since. I bet we can get closer to the book if we retrace my steps, though.
From day 50 to day 53, I followed the fiery hippogriff as he led me deeper into the Blue Giant Taiga in the hopes that we could find any of his old master's belongings that could lead us to the book.
Hey, Zozo, if this goes well, do you think you could introduce me to Charizard? I've always wanted to meet him.
I actually don't know any other Pokemon, even though I'm a Pikachu. But let's not worry about that now. I'm sure Charizard would be proud to know you.
Oh, shucks. I sure hope so.
A little later, the fiery hippogriff and I split up to cover more ground, and I ran into the Vindicator, who gave me some trouble at the bamboo forest. How many times do I need to teach you a lesson, Vindicator?
There won't be a lesson. I'll be vindicated in the end, because I am a Vindicator.
The only thing you are is going down! We battled, and I easily took him out using my diamond sword. I decided to continue searching the area of the Blue Giant Taiga I was in. But with so much ground to cover, it felt like I was getting nowhere. If only the old spellcaster was here himself to tell me how to find his old stuff.
Actually, I am!
A ghost!
Yes, I may be a ghost, but before that, I was the old spellcaster who hid the Dynamax candy.
But you could just tell me directly where the Dynamax candy is hidden away.
Oh, yeah. Well, the truth is, I kind of forgot where it was.
Guess I'll have to keep looking for your book then.
I guess so. But know this, young Pikachu. Strength does not come from your size. It comes from the size of your strength.
From day 54 to day 57, I returned to my base and found that all my friends had been expanding it with new sections since I was away. Wally had created a marketplace so that other merchants could sell things here in the future. Excellent market, Wally. You might start bringing in some trainers as customers.
Thanks, Zozo. Consider yourself the company mascot.
Never heard that one before. Next, I visited the Pixie, who had built a Pikachu fan club where all of my biggest fans could hang out.
And I'm the club president.
Afterwards, the Iron Chicken approached me with some not-so-good news.
A Dreadghoul came by and did some damage to the base before we made our expansions, and he ran off with the diamond helmet that I crafted for you.
I went out into the alien fields to hunt down that Dreadghoul and reclaim the diamond helmet that was stolen from my base. It wasn't that long until I found the mob, and with my lightning strikes I was able to destroy it without getting too close. When it went down, it dropped Iron Chicken's diamond helmet. It was a gift for me after all. I'm sure he'll let me keep it. From day 58 to day 62, I was woken up from a nap by Iron Chicken, who wanted to show me how the construction on the statue was progressing.
Since we're not conjurers, everything we make takes hard work.
And hard work pays off. The statue is looking fantastic so far. I walked around the statue to get a closer look and noticed to my shock that an Enderman was standing right there. What are you doing here?
What else? I'm here to bring down this Pikachu base for our boss, Broden the Conjurer, and I'm gonna destroy you too.
Just try it, Enderman. I zapped the Enderman with my lightning strikes, frying him up like a toasty puffin. Who is next? I heard the other Enderman wreaking havoc across the alien fields, so I quickly rushed out of my base to deal with the Enderman menace. I defeated all the Endermen that had been attacking around the base very quickly by using my lightning strikes, and quickly searched inside the base to see if every one of my friends were still alive. Unfortunately, the Endermen had done their worst, and I saw Wally destroyed by an Enderman. The Enderman ran away, and I vowed revenge. From day 63 to day 66, I went back to the Blue Giant Taiga in order to find the Book of Secrets. The sooner I can eat that Dynamax candy, the sooner I can defeat Broden and save everyone from his cruelty. After a lot more searching, I found the book pinned to a tree. I picked the book up and read what was inside. The Dynamax candy must be kept out of the clutches of evil because it could grant any being that eats it the ability to grow gigantic. Therefore, I am leaving it in the trusted care of my spellcasting apprentice, Broden the Conjurer. No, the Dynamax candy is with Broden. That's the worst place it could be. An Enderman ran up behind me, ready to fight. Somehow I knew it was the same one that had destroyed Wally the Wandering Trader. I got ready for a fight.
So, you found the book. Too bad it won't do you any good.
I learned plenty, Enderman, and I'm not scared of you or your boss.
How adorable. Now suffer like your friend did.
The Enderman attacked me with his long arms, so I countered with my diamond sword. I knew agility would be the key to winning this fight, so I circled around him and landed hit after hit. This is for Wally! Now that I had gotten revenge, it was time to pay the spot I was conjured into a visit. From day 67 to day 70, I went to the alien fields and found the enemy base in the form of a magical mansion. It was guarded by an Enderman, so I just knew that it had to be where Broden had been entrusted to guard the Dynamax candy. There was no sign of the Conjurer himself, so I snuck in and began to search through the entire base. Because I was quick and nimble, I easily avoided all of the Enderman guards until I ran into a mutant Enderman who spotted me immediately.
You can't hide from me, you defective Pikachu. I'm going to do what the others couldn't and destroy you once and for all.
The mutant Enderman's attack were much stronger than the ordinary kind. If I didn't have my diamond helmet, I would have already been down for the count. I was losing hearts fast, and my electric attacks were barely doing anything to him. This is what my shark tooth arrows are for. I switched to my bow and hit the mutant Enderman with a bunch of arrows. Then I attacked with my diamond sword.
Now I see why Broden has been having so much trouble with you.
Don't take me lightly just because I'm a Pikachu. I began to use my lightning strikes again, and this time they seemed to be having an effect. I didn't let up on my sword either, and made sure this mutant Enderman felt the sting of every one of my attacks.
You may have beaten me this time, but I'll end you next time.
The mutant Enderman retreated. I guess just because he was bigger and more mutated than the others didn't mean he was anything to be scared of. From day 71 to day 74, I proceeded to the treasure room of the enemy base, now that the mutant Enderman was out of my way. I expected that the Dynamax candy would be there, but it wasn't there. Of course, Broden must have given up on his responsibilities a long time ago. The old spellcaster trusted him, and he turned totally evil. Not cool at all. Meanwhile, somewhere else in the base, Broden was laughing about the fact that I couldn't find the Dynamax candy.
That foolish Pikachu thought I'd keep the Dynamax candy. I threw that thing out years ago. Who needs to guard the item that can defeat evil when you are evil?
From day 75 to day 78, I made a swift return to my base and found that the Pixie and the Iron Chicken had done some more work on the base. Pixie had refurbished the shop where Wally the Wandering Trader had once sold his items and had made it into a Pokemon-themed gift store.
Isn't this great? Now everybody who comes to visit the base will be able to have their own Pikachu merchandise.
That's a really good idea. Wally would have wanted us to keep using his store. Iron Chicken's improvement was another form of defense. He reinforced the walls of the base to make them even more fortified.
No Enderman is gonna get through this, Zozo.
Actually, I think there is one who could get through. I better make sure he doesn't try anything funny. It turns out, I was right to suspect that mutant Enderman would try to break through our walls.
We have unfinished business, and I intend to finish that business.
Not if I finish it first. I let loose a barrage of shark-tooth arrows on the mutant Enderman, which did a lot of damage. You should have run while you had the chance. Pikachu! I used my lightning attack to weaken the mutant Enderman, then used my sword to deliver the final strike. I did it! My victory in the battle made me into an even higher level Pikachu with greater electrical power and speed. I could now perform a Mega Jump move that would get me free of any enemy's range of attack. And I've got 50 hearts now too! I also noticed that the mutant Enderman dropped a hint when he was defeated, a page that was ripped out of the Book of Secrets. The only place to dispose of the Dynamax candy is in the fires of the Badlands. From day 79 to day 84, I went to the Badlands to follow the hint from the torn page. This place was where I first encountered Broden the Conjurer. Maybe the reason why he was here was to throw away the Dynamax candy so it could never be used against him. I didn't see anything that looked like the Dynamax candy, but I did notice a siren who was also scouting the area. Hey, are you looking for the Dynamax candy too?
So, you figured me out. I heard something about Broden throwing away a powerful weapon here, and I want to grab it so I can get revenge on him.
Don't tell me, you're another conjured being like me?
You got that right. Broden wanted to have me to himself until he didn't. I'm sure you must know the same pain, Pikachu?
I do! Maybe if we team up, we can take him down together.
Sorry, but there's only one candy, and I've got a sweet tooth.
The siren fired laser beams at me, and I knew that I had to fight back. I mega jumped up and used the lightning strikes to weaken the foe before attacking with my diamond sword and winning. I didn't want to defeat you, Siren. You and I were the same.
No, we're not. You're stronger. And because of that, I'm going to tell you that Broden probably took the Dynamax candy back to its rightful place.
Why would he do that after he tried to destroy it?
At first, I didn't know. I was just as confused as you were when I couldn't find it here. Back then, I saw how strong you were. You were the only thing Broden had conjured that might actually threaten him. So I'm sure he got the candy back in case he needs to use it on you.
From day 85 to day 89, I returned to the Blue Giant Taiga and began to make my preparations to go face Broden the Conjurer at his base. I knew he'd be stronger than any of his minions, so I enlisted the help of the Fiery Hippogriff to get more information about Broden. Your former master used to train Broden in spellcasting. Is there anything you can tell me about why he might have gone evil?
From what I can remember, the old spellcaster used to say that magic is for solving problems, not for making them. And I think Broden disagreed.
So even though he conjured everything he wanted, he was really just making problems for himself?
Pretty much. He always had second thoughts after he conjured something because nothing he made could ever be good enough. This was especially true when he made the Dynamax candy.
Broden made the Dynamax candy?
Yeah, I think he did. And it was the one thing he made that he couldn't destroy.
But he won't use it either. So if I can eat it, I'll be able to crush him. Thanks for your help, Fiery.
Good luck. Do what the old spellcaster couldn't and teach Broden a lesson.
From day 90 to day 94, I went into the same cave where I found the diamonds so I could gather materials for my strongest gear yet. In the darkest depths of the cave, I found a chest that contained a netherite ingot. These will do the trick. I used a nearby smithing table and combined the netherite with my diamond sword to upgrade it to a netherite sword. This weapon will be the one I'll use to break through Broden's base defenses and take that Dynamax candy for myself. From day 95 to day 97, I visited my friends at the base to tell them that it was almost time for me to leave. First, I visited Pixie, who had been looking at the statue and thinking about how to upgrade it.
Hey, Zozo! The statue is almost done, but it needs a Pikachu's touch to be complete.
I've got you covered, Pixie. I went to the statue and did the remaining work that was needed. The full version was a statue of Ash Ketchum, Pikachu's trainer from the very beginning. When I looked at the statue, there was only one thought that echoed through my mind. I want to be the very best, like no one ever was.
You already are the best in my eyes.
Thanks, Pixie. I said goodbye to her, then went to go see how Iron Chicken was doing.
Is it almost time to face off against Broden?
You know it, buddy. On day 98, I was still talking with Iron Chicken about the upcoming battle with Broden the Conjurer. It felt like we had been through so much in this crazy world ever since we were conjured into it, and soon our troubles would be coming to an end. You're like a brother to me, Iron Chicken. I hope you know that.
The same to you, Zozo. I say that we end this battle together as brothers. When you go to face Broden, I want to be there right by your side.
Of course, you'll always be welcome on my adventures. And so will you when you watch me out there. Remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can check out my other adventures. Don't forget to leave a comment about what I should do next. On day 99, Iron Chicken and I left the base and crossed the alien fields to arrive at Broden the Conjurer's magical lair. Are you ready for this, Iron Chicken?
Let's do this, my brother in conjuration! I can't wait to defeat Broden once and for all.
Yeah, we may have been brought into this world by a mean guy who didn't even want us, but we got to meet each other, and now we're a family. We entered the enemy compound and fought off some weak skeletons, which were effortlessly ground into bones by my netherite sword. No bones about it. Even Iron Chicken was able to take down a bunch of skeletons by himself.
Zozo, I'm tough as iron, but I think you should continue on alone.
All right, I'll make sure to end this, once and for all. On day 100, the last couple Endermen that Broden the Conjurer had left tried to stand in the way.
Curse you, darn Pikachu! You've sent us blasting off again and again, but not this time!
By now, my electrical attacks were very capable of roasting the Endermen without much difficulty, so I cleared a path for myself to keep moving. Before long, I had reached the room where the Dynamax candy was stored. There it was, sweet as candy. I had to have it.
Time to PIKACHU on this candy. I love puns. I gobbled up the candy and grew to gigantic size. I had become my mightiest form of all, Gigantamax PIKACHU. I had 80 hearts and felt like my lightning was stronger than ever. Shortly after I ate the Dynamax candy, Broden entered the room.
No! What have you done? You've gained the power of the Dynamax candy!
I sure have. What now, Broden?
How about this?
He rushed towards me and dealt a heavy blow, but I was adamant to defeat him. So I countered with lightning strikes and brought my netherite sword into the fight with a vengeance.
I conjured you into this world, and I can unconjure you!
No, you don't, Broden. This Pikachu is a free Pokemon. I hit him with my sword and then delivered the final strike of Max Lightning, taking him out for good. Guess it's all Pika now.